moments of instinct, of insight, of disruption, where an idea meets resistance and becomes evolution. And at the heart of it all, a nation connecting its past to possibility. This is where digital becomes destiny, the fifth edition of Oman's first and defining technology conference. This year, we go beyond the buzzwords: AI, cybersecurity, smart cities, digital identity, fintech, green tech, Web3. This is the blueprint for Oman's digital economy. This is not about tech for tech's sake. It's about the future of work, the future of trust, the future of life. Right here, right now. It started as a conversation. Now it's a movement.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are truly honored today by the presence of our esteemed chief guest, His Excellency Sheikh Zba' bin Hamdan As-Saadi, Secretary General of the General Secretariat for National Celebrations, and the gracious presence of His Excellency Sheikh Salim bin Mustahil Al-Mashani. To all our respected guests, a very warm welcome. As we navigate an era defined by rapid innovation, transformative technology, the leaders of tomorrow are those who not only adapt but also shape the change. Visionaries who see possibility in every challenge and progress in every disruption are the ones guiding us forward. This spirit of purposeful innovation lies at the heart of OERLive DX 2025, an event that celebrates bold ideas, forward thinking partnerships, and digital aspirations aligned with the grand vision of Oman Vision 2040. On behalf of United Media Services, it's my privilege to welcome each one of you to this prestigious platform, which is now in its fifth edition, where we convene not just to discuss the future, but to define it. This conference wouldn't have been possible without the steadfast support of our valued sponsors, who are pioneers in their own right and are deeply committed to sustainable growth, digital excellence, and national progress. A heartfelt thank you goes out to our endorsing partners, the Ministry of Transport, Communications and Information Technology Oman, the Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry, OITS, ETKA Group, Austrian Embassy Muscat, Advantage Austria, whose collaboration has been instrumental in bringing this vision to life. Our sincere thanks also goes to our strategic partners, Oman Arab Bank, Zawawi Power Tech Engineering, Bank Muscat Mithaq, Infoline, Dufar Insurance Company, Securado, and Ta'jir Finance, whose continued commitment to excellence and innovation has been instrumental. We're equally proud to acknowledge our innovation partner, Honor MHD iTech's automotive partner, Shangan, associate partners, Business Gateways and United Securities, knowledge partner, SSA Consulting Group, support partner, Rua United, and our media partners, the Daily Tribune in Bahrain, ZB in Zanzibar, and Alam al-Iqtisad. To each one of you, thank you for your unwavering support and your belief in the power of collaboration. Could I please request a huge round of applause in honor of their contribution? We're also immensely grateful to all of you here in the audience today. And to those tuning in virtually from across the region, you can catch all the action and key updates from OER Live DX 2025 through our live coverage on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. Just look for us at OER Live and be part of the ongoing conversation using the hashtag OERLiveDX25. And now it's my honor to welcome on stage Mr. Atulya Sharma, CEO of United Media Services, a visionary leader in the media industry, passionate about transformative growth, and a steadfast champion of the digital revolution to deliver the official welcome address. Please help me welcome him on stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and good morning. On behalf of His Excellency Sheikh Salim bin Musahil Al Mashni, I warmly welcome you to the 5th edition of OER Live DX Oman, the nation's foremost digital transformation summit. I would also like to convey our heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest, His Excellency Subha bin Hamdan Al Sadi, Secretary General for National Celebrations, for gracing today's event. Thank you, Your Excellency. This gathering brings together minds that imagine, innovate, and ignite change. And this year, we convene under a theme that carries both aspiration and action: Oman 4.0, transforming Oman through intelligent technologies. We live in a time when technology is not just reshaping industries, it is redefining nations. In Oman, this shift is no longer on the horizon. It is here, and it is gaining momentum as we speak. Today, Oman is on a bold journey, a journey to reimagine its future economically, socially, and digitally. This transformation is rooted in a long-term national ambition, the Oman Vision 2040. Launched under the guidance of His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq, Vision 2040 is more than a developmental roadmap. It is a commitment to build a future-ready Oman, one that is diversified, resilient, and inclusive. Technology plays a central role in that vision, not just as a sector, but as an enabler across every domain, from education to energy, from governance to sustainable and green growth. At the heart of it lies the government's digital transformation program known as Tahawul. It is not a superficial digitization of services, but rather a deep structural re-engineering of how the government interacts with citizens and businesses. The numbers reflect this momentum. As of late last year, and according to the 2024 Annual Digital Transformation Report, over 77% of the government entities had met their digital transformation goals. Moreover, between 2021 and 24, the country had digitized over 1,700 services, simplified nearly 2,680 more, and clocked over 26 million digital transactions in a single year, up from just 9.4 million in 2023. So that's a crazy leap. Behind these numbers is a powerful story of coordination, reform, and relentless execution. And today we honor the architects of that progress. Since the establishment of the Ministry of Transport, Communications and Information Technology, Oman has adopted a clear and unified digital policy architecture. We now have governance structures, funding mechanisms, cybersecurity protocols, and cross-ministry collaboration models that enable large-scale, interoperable digital transformation. But let's also remember, technology is not the end, it is a means. Our real objective is impact. Then how does AI improve healthcare, or how can smart logistics lower costs for SMEs, or how do we use data to make cities safer and more livable? How can the public and private sectors cooperate and co-create citizen-first experiences? These are questions that will guide our discussions today, and I'm confident that the answers lie in this very room, with our speakers, our panelists, our innovators, and each one of you. OERLive DX has always aimed to be more than an event. It is a platform, a dialogue, and more importantly, a catalyst. A catalyst for real collaboration between policymakers and entrepreneurs, between regulators and startups, between global pioneers and Omani talent. So today, as we open the doors to another landmark edition, I invite you to think boldly, share openly, and challenge constructively. Because what we discuss here has the potential to shape what Oman becomes, not just in 2040, but starting right now. Together, let us build an Oman that doesn't just adapt to the digital age, but leads it. Before I conclude, allow me to extend our deepest gratitude to our esteemed chief guests and all our partners for making this event possible. This summit is a result of our collective vision and effort, and we thank all of you for standing with us. Thank you, and I wish you all a productive and inspiring session. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sharma, for those insightful remarks. Indeed, digital transformation is not just the future, it's the foundation of progress. It's now my privilege to welcome a true visionary who's been at the forefront of Oman's digital evolution, Dr. Abdullah bin Sultan Al Rajdi, Digital Transformation Advisor at the Ministry of Transport, Communications, and Information Technology. He's a seasoned IT and business consultant with over 30 years of experience in leading digital initiatives across the region. He holds a doctorate in digital adoption from the University of Liverpool and has completed executive programs at Oxford, the University of Virginia, and London Business School. Previously, as head of digital strategy and integration at Petroleum Development Oman, Dr. Al Rajdi oversaw large scale data and cloud transformations and managed multi $1 million IT portfolios. He's also the author of Enterprise Architecture Survival Guide and Embracing Digital Transformation at the Fundamentals, and has co authored research on AI in the energy sector. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Abdullah Rajdi to deliver the keynote address.
Thank you very much for inviting me today for this prestigious summit. Thank you, Mr. Sharma, for the introductory and inspiring speech. I'm very honored today to be in front of you to talk about Oman 4.0, designing a connected digital economy. I joined Ministry of Transport, Communication and IT last year. So the first exposure actually to digital economy program was last year. Now, when I was exposed to the program, I thought it doesn't lack any ambition or effort. We have plenty of both in the program. I think what the challenge or the coming challenge that I foresee in this digital economy is basically on something bigger, and that is what we call now Oman 4.0. Today, I will walk you through the story of what do we mean by Oman 4.0 and how can we prepare better for Oman 4.0 and the coming future. Let me start first by, saying that one of the main objectives of the Vision 2040 is to diversify Oman economy. The Digital Economy Program is one of those diversification efforts. In the program, in the Digital Economy Program itself, there are 4 stages. The first stage, which started in 2021 and it will end this year, is mainly focused on improving the government efficiency. And that is by having a smart government. And as Mr. Sharma highlighted, as of last year, 77% of services has been digitalized. Now, the aim is 80% of government services to be fully digitized by the end of this year. So that's, if you like, what I call the first phase of the digital economy program. The next stage of the digital economy program is even more ambitious. It is basically to target the main economic sectors: manufacturing, agriculture, tourism, mining, and logistics. And what we are aiming in the next 5 years to do is that 80% of the digital transformation in those five main sectors is achieved. So that's the next wave of digital transformation. As we go on in 2031 to 2035, the aim is actually to export now these technical advantage. So we are no longer a consumer of technology, but we are an exporter of technology. And as we reach, hopefully, the 2031 2035 era, we will be one of the countries that are exporting these technologies. So the aim is to have 25% of the digital economy services exported. Now, by 2040, we are hoping for a thriving digital economy that will contribute to Oman GDP by 10%. So this is the overall digital program. Now, the digital economy program itself has 8 executive programs under it. Okay. And I will not go through them all. I will just highlight few. So the government digital transformation is one of them. There is the space and advanced technology program. There is the artificial intelligence programs, many. Not fully under the umbrella of MTCIT. There are other ministries and entities who are leading some of these programs. Now, what is the challenge? Why we need Oman 4.0? The reason why we need Oman 4.0 is because we would like to have an overall operating model for all of this as we are going into more complex things like sectors and exporting technologies and services. We are not only going to focus on what we are having, but what the other party needs. And as a result, we will need a national operating model that focuses on value and driving value out of the intelligent technologies that the digital transformation is providing. And with connecting and the synergy and the integration among all of these sectors will support that. So that is what the concept of Oman 4.0 is all about. And I believe in this conference, we are going to see many speakers highlighting the Oman 4.0 and the relationship between the different sectors and integration between the different sectors on this. So this is what, in general, the concept of 4.0. It's not a new program. It is carrying on with the 8 executive programs. It is driving through that digital economy program that we saw, but we need more connection, more collaboration, more integration. So that's what 4.0 is all about. Now, one of you could ask why it matters, why we need even to think about it. There are few things that are happening in the world. Of course, AI is, one of the major trends. But let not me speak about AI in the context of generative AI. I mean, we are talking about different things. We are talking about generative AI. We are talking about agentic AI. We are talking about AGI. So there are many technologies that are going to change the landscape as we go. Now, the expectation, according to McKinsey, that 85% by 2027, 85% of companies will use some form of AI in their operation to enhance their productivity and also their services. We need to be prepared for that in Oman. And that's what 4.0 hopefully will drive. The other thing is sustainability. It's becoming a very important subject. Gartner expects that $12 trillion by 2030 will be generated by the eco-friendliness, the sustainability economy. Now, as we are exporting digital services, we will need to prepare for that. The platform economy. Now, when we talk about the platform economy, we talk about the evolution from single app, everyone building his app, into more multi-sector platform where everything is integrated into one. Why do I need to go to so many platforms, either as a consumer or a business owner or a business user, to do my business? I think it's very important to see that kind of integration in the future. There is also the regional competition. We see a lot of investment from neighboring countries on different technologies, programs, and the speed and the pace of it. I think we need to prepare Oman for that. And of course, last but not least, there is a lot of skills transformation that needs to be taking place in Oman to prepare for that change. That's why it matters for us to think and start talking about Oman 4.0. Now, in order for us to enable 4.0, there are some key pillars that we need to think about. I listed 5. So the first thing is the shared digital infrastructure, which we are building. And I think we have reached a point where digital services in Oman are already having or are a part of either the government cloud or the infrastructure that are available. I think what we need now is to think about the cross-sector data governance, because as we are moving to more sectorial digital transformation in the next stage, 2630, we will need to look about how this data will be secured and shared, and also interoperability is very key subject here. The public-private collaboration, I think we left it for a long time. Now it's time to think about how the two can merge forces in order to see the changes in the future of Oman. Digital talent and leadership is a very key, and it is the upskilling programs. I think the Ministry of Transport, Communication, and IT have done a lot in Tamkeen, in all of these programs they are launching. But as we go on, there is a need for more and more of these enablement. And last but not least, we need to have a better way to manage and look at performance across the board, because we are not only looking at government now, we are looking at Oman as a whole. Now, I can tell you that Oman has, as Mr. Sharma stated, leapfrogged and has been recognized locally, regionally, globally. We moved in the ranking of the EGDI, which is the E-Government Development Index, from 50 to 41 last year, and we are hoping to even progress further. There are many indicators that we are monitoring, in which we are also going to have more progress on them. And hopefully, the indices that we are seeing globally by the UN or other international entities will see improvement as we go on. And I believe there is an opportunity here. The opportunity of 4.0 is in breaking the silos. Let's work together as one team to drive what is best for this country. Let's use the platform either that has been established or build new ones that are more integrated. Let's design around value. That is very key. We need to drive what is valuable. Where is the value coming from? And I think if you look at all of the different industries, they look at the value chain. So we need to make sure that we drive the value of the execution of Oman 4.0. And of course, last but not least, this is not MTC IT agenda. This is a national agenda. All of you are involved, and all of you are part of it. So I would like to thank you all for attending today's session, and I wish you a very pleasant talk during this and discussion during this conference. And this is the message I want to leave you with. Oman 4.0 is not about MTCIT only. It's about the whole of Oman. It's a national agenda, and you are all part of it. So thank you very much for the invitation and the listening.
Thank you once again, Dr. Abdullah Rajdi, for that inspiring keynote. Your insights into digital strategy and transformation offer a powerful roadmap for what lies ahead. Our next keynote comes from a respected voice in Oman's tech community, a leader dedicated to driving private sector growth and economic progress across the region. Dr. Amjad Ad-Dihli is a seasoned technology expert with over 23 years of experience across the IT and space sectors. He's the CEO of Future of Technology and Development and Vice Chairman of the Digital Economy and AI Committee at Oman's Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He also serves on the Board of Trustees at Oman College and is a board member of Ustul O Bunkering. Previously, he served as a consultant at the National Space and AI Center, where he led key initiatives for Oman's national space program, including the development of the National Space Strategy. His international engagements include contributions to the World Future Council at the World Economic Forum and roles on various GCC digital and e-commerce committees. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Amjad Al-Dihli to the stage.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Your Excellency Sheikh Sabah bin Hamdan Al-Sadi, Secretary General or Secretariat for National Celebration. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the opening of the 5th edition of the OERLive Digital Transformation Conference, organized by Oman Economic Review magazine. At the Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we are proud to be partner of this important event, which aligns closely with the goal of the Oman Vision 2040 and highlights the growing role of the digital transformation in shaping the future of national economy. This edition of the conference comes at the time when the Sultanate of Oman is witnessing significant acceleration in the implementation of the national digital transformation initiatives and strengthening its position as a leading regional destination in this vital field. There is no doubt that the fourth industrial revolution, with its cutting-edge technologies such as AI, IoT, blockchains, are the key drivers for modernizing business environment, enhancing services, and boosting productivity across various sectors. In this context, the Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry continues to play its role as the official representative of the private sector, actively engaging in the shift in business models. We do so by adapting the digital strategy, implementing awareness and training program, encouraging startups to innovate, and providing incentives and facilities that empower them to grow and to compete in the region and global digital market. We are at the Chamber strongly believe that going digital is not a choice of tech. It is essential for the economic growth and progress. That's why we have made it one of the Chamber key strategic direction. Achieving this goal requires collaboration and coordination among all relative stakeholders, including government entities, private sector, academia, and civil societies, in order to build an integrated digital ecosystem that supports sustainability, foster innovation, and open new horizons for employing Omani talents and youth, and creating quality jobs for the future. We are also pleased to recognize the vital role of the Oman Technology Fund as the national pillar supporting digital transformation initiatives and enabling startups to scale up locally and globally in line with the global economic diversification, and the development of the knowledge-based economy. Moreover, we highly appreciate the conference decision to dedicate this edition to honoring institutions and brands that have a tangible impact on advancing digital transformation and implementation of the smart governance and environmental sustainability concept. This is well-deserved recognition that reflects the importance of the institution role models in fostering a culture of innovation. In conclusion, I extend my sincere thanks and appreciation to organizers of this event and conference, and to everyone who contribute to its success. I hope its proceeding will yield effective recommendations that advance the digital transformation journey in the Sultanate of Oman and enhance its economic competitiveness amid the comprehensive economic shifts taking place under the wise leadership of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq. May Allah protect and preserve him. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Amjad Al-Dahli, for sharing your insights. Now, it gives me great pleasure to welcome our next speaker, Dr. Ahmed Al-Hosni, a member of OITS and founder of Takween, a leading Omani consultancy specializing in digital transformation, AI adoption, and process optimization. With over 20 years of experience spanning academia, engineering, and strategic consultancy, Dr. Al Hosni has held key roles at Sultan Qaboos University and served as a recognized expert in regional digital transformation initiatives. Please welcome Dr. Ahmed Al Hosni to the stage.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Today we are going to explore how the unprecedented growth in data, the exponential growth in data, is reshaping our world, and why data governance has become not only important but critical for each and every organization and for the benefit of our societies at large. Before we talk about data governance, please allow me to shed some light on the exponential growth of data that really highlights the importance of data governance أو ما يعرف بحوكمة البيانات. Every single day, the world produces more than 2.5 quintillion bytes of data. Now, to bring that closer and to put it into perspectives, if we need to print the volume of data which we generate every single day within a span of 24 hours, we would require a stack of paper that would be more than 250,000 kilometers long. That is more than half the distance from Earth to the moon. And that is only the amount of data we produce every single day. And the issue does not stop there, because data is growing in unprecedented rate. It's expected that by the end of this year, 2025, the world would have generated more than 200 zettabytes of data. And 1 zettabyte is the equivalent of 1 trillion gigabytes. Now, it's also important to note that 90% of the data that have been produced throughout the history of mankind was produced in the last 2 years only. 90%. So, without saying, we realize the importance of having some policies, standards, processes that would help us manage this huge amount of data in effective way and will help us secure it as well. And that is why the need for having data governance أو حوكمة فاعلة للبيانات is very critical. A brief definition of what is meant by data governance is simply set of policies, processes, procedures that will help the organization use and secure the data in effective way throughout its life cycle. Now, data also a proper implementation of data governance will help any organization answer 5 critical questions, which we call the 5 W's of data governance. The first one is who? Who owns the data? Right? Who owns the data? Who uses the data? Right? And who should be involved in governing this data in the organization? The second question is what? What kind of data we are dealing with? Is it financial data, operational data, or personal data? And when the data is acquired, when it is used, and when it is disposed. So this is again the life cycle of data. And where this data is coming from. Do we trust the sources? And by the way, the issue of trust is huge. Many studies shows that many organizations across the globe do not trust so much their own data, leave alone the data they acquire from third party. And then again, this really highlights the importance of data governance or حوكمة البيانات. And then where this data is going to end up being stored. Are we going to store it locally, in a cloud, in a data warehouse, in a data lake, right? And a final subtle question, which is also important. Why are we acquiring this data, right? Do we really need it? Many organizations keep acquiring lots and lots of data that might not be really needed for the organization. Keep in mind, each and every piece of data that you acquire would add to the burden on the organization throughout the life cycle of the data. So, in simple terms, we can really think of data governance as the rule of the road for the data of the organization. Now, the life cycle of the data again starts from acquiring the data, validating, and by the way, number 2 is critical because data validation is very important because based on this data, we make decisions, we make plans, we make strategies, right? Then we need to store, to process, to analyze, use, we need to archive the data, and finally, we need to safely dispose the data. Now, there are many data governance frameworks that can be used, such as DAMA or the Data Management Association framework, the CMMI framework, but thankfully we have our own national data governance framework, which was established and issued by the Ministry of Transportation, Communication and Information Technology. And this national data governance framework has 4 main pillars. The first one is thinking about data as an asset. Now, when we say asset, the first thing comes to mind is the financial aspects of it, which it is true. Organization can and should monetize data, right? And as the saying goes, data is the oil of the future, right? So organization, companies, nations are not only exploring and digging oil fields now, but rather they explore and dig data fields, right? So we can monetize data, but there are so many indirect aspects that make data asset as well, and very important asset, including the impact on the decisions, the plans, the public services we offer, and more importantly, on the national security of the nation. So dealing with data as an asset is a very critical aspect of the data governance framework. The second one is changing the mindset of thinking or moving organization to what we call data-driven organization. And what we really mean by a data-driven organization is an organization where decisions, plans, policies are made based on actual data, valid, correct, and trusted data. So there are no more guesses or estimation, right? But we make our decisions, plans, strategies on actual, valid, trusted data. And the third pillar is that in order to really establish this culture of data driven, data has to be trusted in the first place. And in order for data to be trusted, we have to ensure proper implementation of data governance plans, policies, and procedure. And the fourth pillar really emphasizes the importance of not only adopting data governance framework, but actually applying it and putting it into actual use. Now, we are living in a world where technology is evolving, right? And we have to take advantage of these emerging technologies to enhance data governance. Technologies such AI, machine learning, blockchain. AI technologies can help us in getting much better insight into our data. It can help us into automating the process of data governance. Machine learning can help in really establishing much better predictive analysis on our data. And blockchain technologies, when it comes to trust, transparency, can play a major role there. Now, we cannot talk about implementing any initiative without actually talking about change management or resistance to change. And I'm highlighting this because we want to encourage each organization to start adopting data governance. But they have to keep in mind that every time we introduce change to the organization, there will be always resistance to change. And the organization must be prepared for that and must be prepared to deal with it. And maybe three of the main elements that will help organizations adopt and manage change is by understanding the source of resistance, where and why it's coming, and then also fostering an environment of collaboration. People don't like being left alone, and they don't like things being imposed on them, but rather they want to have a collaborative environment where they feel they are part of the work that is being carried by the organization. And the last point is training and support. I think it is very important to increase the investment in the capital, in the human capital. Organization invest a lot in technology, software, hardware assets, but they shy away a little bit when it comes to investment in the human capital. And without proper investment in human capital, the ultimate goal of the organizations cannot be met. Now, proper data governance can have many important and really vital impacts on organizations, but I will highlight two. The first one is enhanced decision making. It goes without saying that if we have proper data governance, then organization will have better insight to their data, and therefore that can lead to better decisions, better planning, better future planning for the organization. And if we have data driven culture, once that is established in the organization, then we will make sure that each and every member of the organization will be making decisions, making plans, assessing competitions, what have you, based on actual data. So they will be looking for data to make their decision, their analytics, and so on. And the other point is risk mitigation. We hear every day about data breaches, cybersecurity attacks. And one of the key aspects of data governance is really protecting our data, because if we have proper data governance, then we know who is accessing the data, why they are accessing the data, and so on. So that will help us protect against data breaches, will help us be much better compliant with rules, regulation, processes, and procedures, and will be also much better proactive in mitigating risk. So we will not wait for risks to happen, but we would rather prevent them, right, or escalate them before they do happen. Now, why we maybe this figure would also encourage us, right, starting data governance quicker than maybe we are planning to, because on the average, each data breach globally, each data breach cost between 5 to 10 million US dollars. And it is estimated that by the end of 2025, the total cost of cybersecurity attacks will cost globally more than 10.5 trillion US dollars. Now, I would leave you with these 4 points that maybe will help convincing our organization that we need to start data governance today. The first point is based on a study conducted by IBM Global, which says that effective data governance will reduce security breach by almost 50%, 48%. And we have already seen the cost of cybersecurity attacks and data breach. So if we can reduce it by 48% by having proper data governance, I think that is a compelling reason to start it today. The second one is based on a research by Foster, where it says that data governance implementation will help faster retrieval of data, ease of retrieval of data. See, the moment you have data in your organization, you cannot access it easily. It is complicated. That will prevent people from using it. So the easier, the faster data can be retrieved, the better it will be utilized. The third one, again, is based on a study by KPMG, and it says AI initiatives, AI machine learning initiatives, are likely to succeed higher by 83% higher rate if we adopt proper data governance. And everybody these days talking about AI and machine learning. And I think if you ask people who work in the AI and machine learning field, they can relate to this, because most of the time spent there is really on data preparation, data cleansing, putting the data in the proper format, checking the validity of data. So if that can be done beforehand, that will surely expedite the process of AI initiative. And finally, data governance, according to a study by IDC, will have a return of investment, right, that will exceed 300% over the span of 3 years. So if investing in data governance an issue, this study clearly shows that there is clear return of investment from adopting an effective data governance policy. My final message is that our organizations, they really need to start adopting effective data governance policy. And by the way, based on the National Data Governance Framework, it is mandated that all organizations start establishing data governance and data management offices and start preparing data management and data governance frameworks and strategies. So I will encourage all organizations to start doing that today. Thank you for your attention. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Thank you so much, Dr. Al Hosni, for your valuable insights and for championing the digital cause. Moving ahead, we now spotlight one of the brightest young minds in Oman's engineering sector, a professional making real impact on the ground in power protection and smart grid integration. Mr. Ammar Saeed Salim Al-Adwani is a protection testing engineer at Zawawi PowerTech Engineering, certified by PDO and DCRP with a degree in electrical power engineering. He specializes in protection scheme testing, SCADA integration, and commissioning of digital substations. He has contributed to major national projects, including relay revamping across PDO's network, smart meter integration into SCADA systems, and the commissioning of 132 kV overhead lines, bringing modern resilience to Oman's energy infrastructure. Please welcome Mr. Ammar Al-Adwani on stage.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, everyone. As it has been introduced, my name is Ammar Saeed Al-Adwani. I'm a protection testing engineer at Zawawi PowerTech Engineering. And today, inshallah, I'm going to walk you through Zawawi PowerTech Engineering contributions to smart grid and digitalization. Without further ado, let's get started. Before we go through the topics of the presentation, it's a two-part presentation. What Zawawi PowerTech has contributed already to the smart grid and digitalization in the electrical sector. And the next part is what is our ambitions to implement and to contribute to the electrical sector and digitalization. So let's start with our contributions in the electrical sector. The first one is a hybrid switchgear. This switchgear is a successor of the AIS switchgear in the electrical grid, which is basically a compact version of AIS, air insulated switchgear. This reduces significantly the footprint of AIS, and it governs all AIS essential components under one compartment, which is CT and VT, circuit breaker, disconnectors, and earth switches, all under one compartment, which is gas insulated. And also, it is other than that, AIS actually is exposed to atmospheric air, which is this one is providing maintenance free compared to the AIS system. The other contribution to the electrical sector is the load break switch, LBS in short. So load break switch, it came as a solution for the normal or conventional circuit breakers or PMRs. So why I'm going for load break switch? Because it's simple in design and construction, and for its simple design and construction, it's lower cost than normal circuit breakers. So it's a cost effective for the projects. The next contribution from Zawawi PowerTech is modern numerical relays. And numerical relays actually having so much features regarding smart grid and contribute to the digitalization. But one of the most, I want to highlight one of the most salient feature about numerical relays is that nowadays vendors are coming up with something called universal relays, which are a relay that you purchase from the vendor, which does not have to be dedicated from the beginning to have dedicated only for certain protection, like line protection, motor protection, or transformer protection. So it's a universal relay that can be used and customized and utilized according to your needs. And of course, we're having smart tariff meter for energy monitoring. Before it was all manual, collecting readings and very hectic procedure. But nowadays we're having the smart meter energy monitoring, It provides wireless connection and real-time reading to the database of the utility companies. And also you can monitor the demands, peak load demands and low demands of the in the utility grid. OECM is online condition monitoring. This is actually a new technology we've just implemented with our clients. This is so what does this OLCM provides? It's you are connecting sensors and connecting devices to whatever asset you want to protect. So whether it's a transformer, whether it's a motor protection, so you will be connecting all these sensors to monitor the asset condition. And it sends all these data to your system. In our case, it's the SCADA system here. So all these data will be integrated to SCADA system, which you can have features like early fault detection because you are having all these data already, and then you can predict whether my transformer will be going to failure or my motor will be going to failure. So all these things, and even for preventive maintenances as well, or avoiding unnecessary maintenances, which is very time consuming. And improved reliability and safety as well, because no personnel or direct human interaction with the asset is needed here. Also, we have this traveling wave fault locator, which is a new technology also provided by Zawawi PowerTech. This is an upgrade for the normal line distance protection, which is much faster than line distance protection in detecting line faults, which uses time signals to protect exactly where the fault has happened in the line. And this is already implemented in the electrical grid since long time, which is a SCADA system, or known also as a SCMS. SCADA system allows us to operate substations unmanned, so no personnel need to go to the substation and operate manually. Real-time remote, so you can remote and log into the operational events, alarms, all your diagnostics will be appearing into your SCADA system, plus centralized and monitoring coordination, so all multiple substations will be controlled via one SCADA system center. So what is our ambitions for the next? The first one, which is on our research, is overhead line monitoring system. So what is this overhead line monitoring system is? It's actually a device that will be attached to the power line, which is essentially collecting data, live data from the protection or live data from the overhead line, which is why we need these data. We need this data to maximize line capacity with dynamic line rating. So I don't know whether I can, because there is no such device or there is no such technology up to now, which I could precisely predict how I can rate or how I can load my line. So this will give me an indication or somehow readings, which I can, okay, for now I can load my line even more, or my line is already loaded, so I need to lower the loading for the line. And early fault and incident detection, because it's gathering data from the line continuously. So it prevents So prior any incident happens or electrical fault happens, I can predict that through the data I've already collected in my system. And supports also AI-driven analytics for predictive maintenance. So I can fetch AI here for analytics and predictive maintenance instead of relying on manual calculation and predictions. The second system is autonomous and beyond visual line of sight, which is in short called BVLOS, capable drones. So we saw that instead of going through, for example, we're having line patrolling or power line patrolling. This way is for patrolling lines manually or using a car is not efficient anymore, and we need to have a smart solution for it. Because these remote areas, especially in desert, for example, or any rural areas or remote areas, it is very dangerous and it has dangerous terrains, and it has some of the areas don't have network coverage as well, have poor signal. So we thought of why shouldn't we implement these BAV LOS capable drones, which can increase efficiency, because when you go buy the car, those hard terrains, it will take so much time, and the drones will shortcut the time significantly, plus enhanced safety. So these terrains are dangerous, as I said, and some of them are having no signal or coverage. So by deploying the drones, it will ensure personal safety and cost saving as well, because you don't need a human intervention here. Plus, no human intervention, and no, you will cut so much asset costs as well. So this is the end of the presentation. And lastly, I would like to say the Huawei PowerTech was contributing to the smart grid technology since the beginning, since the start, and we are striving for more and more solutions to contribute to the grid. But it's not about just digitalizing or just fetching whatever new features, AI and so on. But what is the real value actually these technologies are providing, and how much impact actually they happen to our lives. Thank you, everyone.
We now transition into a key highlight of OERLive DX 2025, our panel discussion titled Technology Horizons, Transformation of Key Industries. This discussion will bring together diverse voices from across sectors to explore how emerging technologies are reshaping the way industries operate, innovate, and deliver value. Let us welcome our esteemed panelists for the day. We begin with Mr. Muad Al-Ameri, Vice President Commercial of Infoline. With deep expertise across marketing, business development, and client success, Mr. Muad has been instrumental in driving revenue growth and enhancing customer experiences at Infoline. Previously serving as General Manager of Sales and Solutions, he spearheaded strategies that delivered over 30% year on year growth, built agile teams, and elevated market presence. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Muad Lameri on stage. Our next panelist is Mr. Naveen Narayanan, Managing Director and CEO of SSA Consulting Group, and transformation specialist with over 2 decades of global consulting experience. Mr. Naveen has led lean and strategy initiatives across major brands including Pfizer, DHL, and Nortel. An MBA graduate from Thunderbird and a Six Sigma Master Black Belt, He is a prominent voice in operational excellence and is currently pursuing doctoral research in lead time compression and factory physics. Please welcome Mr. Naveen Narayanan on stage. Our next panelist is Mr. Bikram Manga, General Manager, Risk Control and Strategy, National Finance. With over 25 years of international experience, he's a seasoned finance executive with deep expertise in risk management, strategy, and corporate governance. He has held key leadership roles across the GCC, Europe, and Central Asia. An alumnus of Harvard Business School, he brings a global perspective and strategic insights into today's discussion. Please welcome Mr. Bikram Manga on stage. Our next panelist is Mr. Vimod Chandran, Director, Managed Security Services at Securado. With hands-on experience in IT infrastructure and enterprise cybersecurity, he leads large-scale security solution deployments and service delivery. A technical strategist with a strong business interface, he guides client engagements from design and planning to implementation and long-term security resilience. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Vimod Chandran. Rounding off this panel is Mr. Gunasandram Gananmutu, Senior Manager IT at Dufar Insurance. He's a seasoned technology leader currently driving digital transformation at Dufar Insurance Company. With a proven record in architecturing core insurance systems and leading innovation across fintech, AI, and blockchain ventures, he brings deep technical expertise and strategic vision. He holds advanced credentials from Purdue and a joint venture MIT Stanford Columbia program, and is known for championing AI governance and data privacy across the GCC. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Guna Sandaram. And moderating this discussion is Mr. Alvin Thomas, Assistant Editor at OERLive, an engineer turned into journalist. Alvin brings over 10 years of media experience in Oman and the UAE. A passionate, a technophile, and a digital media strategist, he specializes in technology, automotive, and business journalism. At United Media Services, he plays a leading role in driving editorial content across OERLive's digital platforms, championing the role of innovation in shaping the future of industries. Please welcome our moderator, Mr. Alvin Thomas, to the stage.
Good morning to all of you here, Your Excellencies, all our guests here today. We're incredibly happy to have you here, and I'm honored to be here with such an esteemed panel. Transformation has to be one of the most key constants of human nature. Isn't that true? And yet today, the transformation is happening faster than ever, driven by AI, cloud, automation, and data. Industries are being reshaped in real time. And in a way, I think we humans are too. But here's the real challenge. It's not about adopting new tech. It's about rethinking how we serve people, build trust, and stay ahead without losing our human edge. To start off this panel today, I'm going to try something different. We're going to split this into 5 sections, time permitting. And the first section that I wanted to talk about was the human side of transformation. Now, I want to just give you a little bit of a background. And I want to direct this to Mr. Muad here. I don't know if you know this, but I was privileged enough to work on the iconic rebranding that you did last year through UMS. And I remember you going up on stage. It was an impromptu session. You went up on stage and you just talked your heart out about your people, about the people in Infoline, your colleagues at Infoline. And that was quite inspirational to me to be hearing that there. And I was wondering, this is a company that incorporates AI. They talk about technology, yet they put their people first. In fact, we even did interviews with a lot of old staff members who are sitting on the top of companies today. They started off at Infoline. So I want to just ask you the first question. Digital transformation is happening. So how are the initiatives that you do not compromising the human element?
Right, Alvin. You have a good memory, better than mine, that's for sure. But I can speak my heart out again and tell you that digital transformation should amplify the human touch, not replace it. And a lot of our, I would say, our conversations go around how can we get a certain process that is AI'd to be replaced or humanized that should be replaced. Well, it starts with the customer first design, where technology enhances empathy, not erase it. For instance, we use AI to handle repetitive tasks, allowing agents more time to focus on complex, emotional, or sensitive interactions. Secondly, we invest in training our people to work with technology, not against it. We also ensure that automation is always backed up by a human fallback. So, what does that mean? If a bot falls or fails to resolve an issue, a live agent takes over seamlessly. It is about digital with a human touch. It's more of a human heartbeat augmented with a AI, with artificial intelligence or technology enabling humanity at scale. So scalability today, when we look at business, regardless what the business is, AI will allow us to be scalable, but it has to be humanized. It has to be human augmented or AI augmented with humans to assure scalability for the business.
Well, that's very interesting that you say that. But I want to direct the next question at Mr. Naveen here. Some very good points raised by Muad, right? So another part of human element is also resistance, weirdly. So in your experience, what is the biggest hurdle organizations face in executing digital transformation strategies? And I just want to throw a stat out here. 1 in 4 companies in the GCC will be spending over $25 million in digital transformation, according to the Boston Consultancy Group. That's 1 in 4 companies in the GCC, $25 million. That's an insane number this year. So, can you just talk about, in your experience, what are some of the hurdles faced?
Well, I think very relevant question, Alvin. And most of the speakers who spoke this morning also talked about change management and the human element, which is the heart of transformation, right? And in our experience, specifically talking of hurdles, a lot of times we tend to resist what we don't understand. So, and the other human paradigm is that we all want change, but we don't want to change. So this is deep rooted in psychology, and it reflects in human behavior. Uh, Now, people have done a lot of research on how to overcome this challenge, because a lot of times technology holds a lot of promise and the ROI is evident. But if it does not get embedded in the organization correctly, it could be a wasted effort. So, uh, there are frameworks, for example, the ADKAR framework, which is very prescriptive in nature. I won't go into the details, where people have thought about the psychological aspect of it and how to encourage people to systematically adopt the change. So, in a nutshell, if this is not thought through in advance, and if technology is embraced in a hurry, it can lead to failure. And last but not least, one of the speakers also spoke about, and I'd like to reiterate, definition of value. Because if you look at technology in isolation, it's very exciting, like what ChatGPT can do and what the AI models can do and so on. But if you have not defined what value it's going to bring to the business and have some semblance of how it will be measured, right? Then you would not have a true north purpose, and over time you will lose the sight of what you're gunning for, and that can also lead to loss of traction and more resistance to change.
Well, I really agree with what you say. And, the value word is incredibly important here. And I think the next question is to you, Mr. Bikram. The FLC space is incredibly human led. You have to agree that. And you come from a very, I would say, very niche background. You have risk control and strategy. Of all the three topics that you can have under your belt, you have them all. So I'd like to know what are some of the transformative digital trends that are now taking over the FLC sector, and how are humans going to factor into all of this?
Thank you, and thank you for inviting me to this panel. And absolutely agree with my other speakers over here. First of all, I think we need to understand that the digital transformation or the AI that is coming in is driven primarily by a lot times by customer expectations. So that human touch, that human angle will remain. That I don't think technology is there to replace humans. Technology is there to enhance customer experience. And technology is there for us as institutions to make better decisions and to protect our stakeholders. So in our case, for example, we are now using different AI-driven models for credit scoring, for better understanding our customers. Another avenue which is coming and is coming in line with this is sustainable and green finance. And again, very critical, very important. Also, we now see finance embedded in every element. I mean, we got apps. Apps you can use for purchasing, you can use for decision making, you can make use for financing your purchases. So again, decision making, AI is driving, making those easier. Sometimes it's data driven, sometimes it's primarily eKYC, sometimes it's anti fraud. So again, integrating all of this, and again, who's driving it? It is people. It is training. I think one of our esteemed speakers earlier today talked about data governance and training. I mean, very critical at this.
Actually, you sort of took the words off my mouth there, because data governance is something that I was going to bring up in a way, because I want to talk about data resiliency as well. A very good presentation from our presenters early today. And I wanted to know how we can actually look into building a resilient cybersecurity posture for this digital first economy that we are living for now. So, if you may, Mr. Vimood, just take over.
Thank you so much, Alvin, to give me this opportunity to be part of this panel. So, coming to digital resiliency, uh, let me put one use case in front of you. Myself, I am handling or I am heading the largest security operations center in Oman, one of the largest security operations centers in Oman, which is accredited by NTCID. Now, what that mean? I focus on security from all the perspectives. Yes, digital transformation is inevitable. That has to be done. That is there. That is the future. Period. No discussions further to that. But with that comes something very interesting: the cyber security part of it. As you digitalize, things will change. There is a, so how do we make it resilient? Simple factor. We all know, everyone knows, a people, process, and technology. These are the three factors or the pillars that come in picture. But this is something which I'm talking about the old. I mean, it's something which has been for a long time. But now what we have redefined is that the time that takes for my analyst to detect an incident, report it, and fix it is very crucial, because that time is what I call as happy hours for the attacker to attack you. So with the help of AI, we have our own built-in models, AI assisted automation. We synchronized it to wire speed, we say. So the people are now fast. They are only looking into the more complex situations, like Sir told, like it's more of human touch that is required. All the repetitive task is taken care by the AI, and then the automation has enhanced For example, if my analyst has to go through an SOP, you don't need to go through an SOP now. You have to go through and the automation will do that for you. The rest is you have to overlook on this. So the resolutions came from transforming people, process, and technology to people, automation, and intelligence. So this is what we are seeing the future. And we have a team of engineers who wake up every day in the morning and sleep at night. Between them, they're only thinking about resiliency. The resiliency is nothing but enhancing the people to do the right stuff, automating, and with intelligence, the speed we achieve. That's exactly what we achieve.
No, actually, it's something that's incredibly interesting, Mirumi, because I'm in the process of trying to understand the underpinnings of what we call as the blockchain. And what worries me the most is that artificial intelligence and quantum computing is going to be so strong that the blockchain may not stand up to that. So I'd like to hear more, but I want to go to a question. If you agree with what Mr. Vimod has said, Mr. Guna, and I also want to hear something from you that's very interesting. That is, what are some of the most interesting transformational tech upgrades that's happened in the insurance sector in the last 5 years? Because we coined the term insurtech quite recently. Please correct me if I'm wrong, though. But I'd like to hear what's happening that's exciting in the field.
See, most of the digital transformation uh, accelerated by the COVID. Pre-COVID, slowly we were thinking of what to do, how to do, exploring different opportunities. But COVID forced us to adopt new technologies, whatever, just starting from the work from home and giving online systems, online payments. So, and also the risks of cyber security. When somebody wants to connect from home, so maybe somebody else can also connect. So there are so many challenges came. So the most interesting part is the customer experience or customer centric initiatives taken highest priority, and with that we got a lot of digital platforms, and we got a lot of value being delivered. And the challenge for technology professionals is investing and then ensuring that there is an ROI, and at the same time balancing the risk. So this is very challenging times, that particular time, and slowly it is evolving into AI and all other new technologies. So as far as the insurance industry is concerned, there are many improvements happened. For example, digital claims management and all these online services were been provided. So these are all the interesting transformation initiatives we got through the last 5 years.
It's something that you mentioned again that Ms. Naveen also mentioned was the return on investment, right? That's a very key word here. We talk about value, but we talk about value across all facets of a company or an organization. My next question is to you. We're also moving to the next round, which is strategy and execution. I also learned that Infoline had been a very extensive part of the Qatar World Cup, the FIFA World Cup. So, in a way, I think Infoline received the opportunity, as well as people received the opportunity to experience Infoline there uh, at an at a scale that we had never seen before. So I want to know what sort of tech that was used. I don't want to go into the details, but I want to know how you are leveraging AI, analytics, and data to actually make the process more efficient for the government and public sectors and private sectors.
We're leveraging AI and automation as a enabler of proactive service. In government, for example, our virtual agent pre-qualifies the citizen inquiries before routing them, reducing the congestion and improving satisfaction. In telecom, being telecom owned, and in banking, we apply speech analytics, sentiment analytics to monitor quality in real time and guide coaching intervention in real time as well. Through analytics, we can anticipate the customer churn, upselling opportunities, policy lapses, allowing clients to act before problems even arises. From the tone of voice, analyzing certain keywords. Ultimately, AI helps us transition from being a reactive, I would say, to a reactive partner or a reactive provider to become a more of a predictive provider to our clientele.
So I want to take this into another area. I want to actually take it with you, Mr. Naveen. I want to go. Can you be a little more? I don't want to say the word philosophical, but I want to hear what is this leadership mindset that we talk of when we talk of tech investment? How is a tech investor or a individual who pushes technology into the forefront of an organization that is incredibly nascent in the way that they're using technology looking like currently?
Again, excellent question, Alvin. No. So I think I just zoom out a little bit, not just in the context of technology transformation, but any change for that matter. So in the parlance of change management or the change management world, we talk about two types of transformation approaches. One is the top down, another is the bottom up approach. So as what they mean is that the top down is essentially the leader is driving the mandate for change, and bottom up is the other way around. So coming to the question of leadership mindset, I think one aspect is that large scale transformative, especially technology driven transformations, essentially have to have an element of top down, if not at least initiated by the board, direction for the organization, owned by the C suite of the business. This is one aspect. They need to bet their life on the transformation, because there will be a lot of moments where the intent will be questioned, the progress may not be up to scratch with what they aspire for, and so on and so forth. So when the initiative is being second guessed, the leader should have the conviction to bet their life on it, right? That is a non-negotiable condition.
But is it a gamble? I want to ask. Can it be a gamble?
Well, this is see the leader's role. That is why they're leaders, because they're able to see what others are not able to see, right?
I agree.
So which means that and we have seen it in so many instances, right, where they will be heavily second guessed. There will be meetings where everyone will say, yes, boss, this has to be done. They'll walk into the corridor and say, okay, one more fancy initiative, and so on. But the leader cannot let up on the conviction of that initiative, right? But when the success starts rolling, and this is where again they have to use their intuition, and they have to use their cognizance and systems thinking to place their bets on initiatives that they know will succeed, right? When the success starts rolling, there will be a lot of others for those successes. So over time the momentum will gain, but it has to essentially start from the top, and that conviction is non-negotiable condition, Alvin.
See, the word second guess is something that actually just stood out to me. So I would say the word preempt also lies true to this, right? So the FLC sector, in many ways, preempts how a customer would be, right? That's a big part of risk assessment, as I would say it. Throughout the course of your career, Mr. Bikram, I would like to know how this entire process has changed and how transformative the shift was. Like, how big a step was AI when it came to analytics? I would really like to know, like, at what stage were we just 3 or 4 years ago? And then suddenly, I don't want to say post-COVID, because AI happened much before that, but I believe the use cases happened much recently. So how big a step was it in Oman, and how big a step was it for you as National Finance?
I think by asking me how the journey works and going through how it used to be, you're trying to focus on my gray hair, which is fine.
Yes.
But I think we've gone. The industry has moved leaps and bounds, like most of the industries, and we've gone from absolute. And I've seen in my life going from manual to some sort of usage of computers, to some sort of modeling, to now AI driven decision making. So in at our company, or at FLCs, or in Oman, I can say, across the region, I think if we were to look at the customer journey, you start with onboarding or the credit assessment of a customer, and then giving the customer the journey of ensuring that the customer stays with you. Now, AI powered, whether it's credit scoring, whether it's the onboarding process, we've got predictive risk models which tell us, the probabilities of default, the returns. Also, not only that, now one is, the risk side of it, where you go and look at if the customer is going to pay you back or not, the default ratios, but also give personalized or tailored product to the customer at that moment, which you would not be able to do, which a staff would not be able to do for a small ticket or a regular customer. So that's happening. That's evolving at a much faster rate in Oman, feel, at our organization as well. Another key element, and something that I've done a lot of research in my personal aspect, is about the science behind decision making. And one of the elements that go into decision making, which we do not consider, is an individual's bias, cognitive biases. And those biases are built in. It's nothing to do with, whether so I have certain biases which I will use while making a decision. Now, these biases, to a large degree, when it comes to AI, can be mitigated or minimalized. I'm still saying we should not ignore all this. The human element should be there, but then there should be an element where this can be minimalized. Also, in terms of internal processes, using AI, using AI for fraud detection, for blockchain, for audit trails. That's again helping the institutions and the customer.
So this again plays right into your alley here, Mr. Vimod. The speed at which transformation is happening is insane. We've got companies such as Microsoft, we've got companies such as Google talking quantum. And weirdly, the company Nokia that we knew a couple of decades ago, we probably all had a Nokia phone, is also into quantum computing. They're talking about quantum computing now. They're under Bell Labs currently, if I'm not mistaken. So they've got a very big plan that they're looking to implement in quantum computing. So at the rate at which we're moving forward, how do you think the increase is going to be in complexity in cybersecurity? And how faster should you adapt as a company that provides cybersecurity solutions?
Brilliant. So, Alvin, the speed is always there. If you look at the pace at which cybersecurity has grown, I would not say it has grown. I say it is evolved. And even today, if I sit here and I discuss and I'm talking to you and just I move out and look into my phone, there is a new strategy, there is a new kind of an attack, there is new kind of things came in. All this powered by the technologies which are invented. Like for example, if you talk about quantum and if you talk about encryption, quantum can break the encryption like this. It's very easy. Once quantum is unrealistic, the speed, see, basically breaking an encryption is trial and error, or we call it brute force. And the speed at which quantum can do it, it can break it. Now, there is a countermeasure for that. So you quickly start back and you relook into the algorithms of the encryption to make sure that, this goes back. So it's a two-way fight. The technology on the other way is going, and this technology is in the hands of good and bad. And we already have the cybersecurity things already in place. This gets evolved actually. So talking to you about this, now we are in that era where we say that using the current tools, the speed at which an attacker can move or the speed at which the cybersecurity has to evolve, that comes with the technologies that we use as well. So quantum, we use quantum to speed up the process. We can even make more complex algorithms by altering the technologies that is used to encrypt. The encryption is just one use case I'm talking about. There's many use cases that we can discuss on top of it. So evolution is part of it. Now the question is how speed we have to evolve is the question. And that is where the rapid research comes into picture. And we do that rapid research to say that, yes, we have a technology. With the technology comes every technology creates a cybersecurity problem, and this is the solution that we are going to come. Now, the differentiation, the delta between the new technology, identifying the cybersecurity problem and providing the solution is the speed we are talking about. And that we're pretty much there. So when a new technology comes in, there is a team of people who already work to ensure that, certain compliances, policies and procedures and the countermeasures are already been prepared for that.
So, in a way, I can say that again, preempt being the word here, you're preempting what could happen in the future, isn't it? I could say the same about the insurance sector as well. So, the world has moved so fast and so quick that I don't think physical stores need to exist anymore in a way because we've been so efficient of late. Am I right in saying that? Please counter me on this if you think I'm wrong. And I would also like to hear how your tech first customer has actually helped you transform into the next stage. Have you received any pressure from the people to actually make that move? Because you are one of the biggest companies here in Oman.
Yeah, actually, see, with the all technology available today, the businesses are facing more and more pressure. So one is the expectation is the instant services. So anything I want to avail now. Second is insurance is predominantly, earlier it was paper-based process. So now the customer expectation is more personalized or hyper-personalized services or experiences. So we are forced to think and innovate with coming up with options for, simplified journeys, transparent processes. The customer should know what I am buying, what I am entitled to, what is the process X, Y. All the questions should be answered in a transparent way. So similarly, they have option to compare. Like particularly in insurance, we have insurance premium comparison platforms out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that means not only the experience and investing in innovation and technology, we also have to provide personalized services, instant services, but at the same time at the competitive pricing.
Is that very challenging?
Yes, of course. So we have to keep on innovating. Yeah.
But how has the customers responded so far? If I were to ask you, how has the customers responded so far to this shift? Because I'm sure they're impressed, but I just want to know
That's
at
what.
what scale.
See, based on the various platforms available, and it is global access is available in some other country, how it is happening. For example, there are worldwide there are companies, for example, digital only or digital native insurers are there. So that's what you talked about, InsurTech. So the way they offer their services within a fraction of second, either you want to buy a policy or get a claim, they are able to get it instantly. So the similar expectation is there. So if they are getting, they are very happy. Even we get feedback, okay, maybe this process could have been a little bit better. So that way we are constantly getting the feedback and we are also improving.
Amazing, actually. That's a very nice thing to hear. Now, we're moving to the next round, which is scalability and innovation. And I again want to just start with you, Mr. Muad here. I want to just hark on the word consistency for a second because this company has been here for decades now. And consistency is something that, in a positive sense, I would say you've gone beyond consistency because you've grown so much, scalability being another word here. But you've also been consistent to the country. You've offered ICV here. I don't think there are a lot of companies that have this deep roots. Like, of course, you do have PDO and the likes, but you do have a company like Infoline in tech space and customer experience space that has been offering ICV for decades now. So I want to know how, with the rise of omni channels, are you maintaining consistency in customer operations and customer experience while still managing to go a step up, scaling?
Well, consistency begins with centralized governance and cross channel visibility. We standardize the journey across voice, chat, social, and email using unified platforms and shared knowledge bases. That means a customer gets the same tone, accuracy, and resolution wherever they call us or message us. We also use AI to orchestrate channel choice, ensuring customers are guided to the right channel for the right issue. And as we scale, we definitely leverage the use of AI in terms of data touch points and data centralization to assure that we have data consistency and also service consistency when we come to customer experience.
No, that's again fantastic to hear. And I see that you've maintained your track record, and we wish you the best in that. I just want to take the next question to you, Mr. Naveen. Again, I wanted to go on a very gentle scale here. From a boardroom perspective, how are priorities shifting? Because you just heard Mr. Muad here talk about how they're leveraging, moving into this whole scalable journey of theirs, because it is a very scalable industry that they have. It is people at the end of the day. It's technology that's just helping you at the end. How are the priorities shifting in the boardroom when you sit down with your clients and companies? And how is it looking when you talk about technology investment versus people and process investment? Have you seen any shift in these two very key aspects?
Yeah. Uh, Again, very relevant question, Alvin. See, boards are the primary responsibility of the board is to preserve shareholders' value and value for stakeholders, right? And I assume in the context of a for-profit institution, board's very purpose is to make sure that they hold the management team to a higher standard in terms of their fiduciary duties, and the financial prudence of capital allocation. So boards are obsessed with how they can create value for the shareholders, and they would always welcome ideas that will deliver that true north. But they also have a. Am I okay to continue? They also have a responsibility to guide management for responsible capital allocation. And some of these, for example, we are seeing even the big tech Mag 7, the amount of money capital that they are allocating to AI and the infrastructure associated with it is eye-watering, right? So the shareholders are still being generous to give them high multiples with the hope that it will pay off. But they're constantly watching, right? So if they cannot generate ROI commensurate to the investment they are committing, then there will be serious questions asked, and the responsibility will again come back squarely to the board that why didn't you hold the management to account to commit to return on investment on these investments? So, so that narrative hasn't changed, honestly, with the technology and any other capital allocation choices. Boards continue to be cognizant of emerging technology trends. And in fact, many instances, boards would guide management to look at initiatives and then evaluate its worthiness. So I haven't seen a major shift in their proclivity to champion these initiatives.
That's fantastic to hear again. I don't think it's fair to ask you the boardroom perspective from you, Mr. Vikram. I think it's purely confidential. However, I would like to know from a regulator's perspective what you would like from the regulators. Open banking is a very interesting concept to me. I believe that once the open banking framework is set by the CBO, the sandboxing is done, it's going to shrink the space between a lot of entities that operate here in Oman and worldwide. In fact, international players could come down here and disrupt us. I would like to know what you would like from the regulators when it comes to striking a balance between innovation timeliness and financial stability.
So from I just add on to something that Naveen said on the boardroom perspective. In our organization, along with some of our key partners, group organizations, we've been holding very senior level board and management meetings, discussions, full day sessions to, in fact, ensuring that we start talking about implementing AI. Now, from a partnership perspective, I think I'll split that. Before I go into the regulator, I'll talk about fintech partnerships as well, because I think it's very critical for everybody to understand that you're not in this journey alone. And as my colleagues have mentioned, it's all about collaboration. It's all about partnerships. So, whether you partnership with other fintech organizations, other consultants, because those are catalysts for innovation, growth, and agility. You cannot go on this. You cannot do everything on your own. And you take their help, whether it's product development, whether it's research, whether it's complementing on the strengths. Now, coming to the regulator is actually being proactive. Multiple regulators here. We've got representatives here as well. I mean, we directly primarily deal with the Central Bank of Oman, and we're listed, so FSA as well. But at the same time, there is an opportunity for us for safe experimentation. There is what I call agile transformation, where the regulator is listening to us. I'm worried it's going to ring again. I mean,
Can we have the timer off? Yeah.
I was just making sure the alarm doesn't go off again. Risk mitigation. So from that perspective, collaborations is something that it has to be done from both sides, and it's very critical.
Wonderful. Now, with AI enabling both attackers and defenders, what's the next frontier in cybersecurity or intelligent threat detection? Which, by the way, I'm sure that even Mr. Bikram here would be interested to know about. This is coming to you, Mr. Vimod.
Perfect. So now, before we start with that question, I would like to quote something which I was being informed. It's from Sun Tzu. It's Art of War. So it's very simple. I cannot. I don't remember the exact quote, but it boils down to one thing. We shouldn't rely on the likelihood that somebody is not attacking us. Rather, we have to be prepared to receive him, the attacker. Second thing is that we shouldn't rely on the fact that he's not attacking me. Okay, we should be prepared, or we should have all our things fortified to us. Now, this is very important. So when you said that, yes, as we have told earlier, if AI is available for me, simple. If ChatGPT is available for me, it is available for another person. I will use ChatGPT to prepare my documentation. The other person is preparing using ChatGPT to draft a malware instantaneously, and then how to send it across. Deepfakes. So now the question is, how prepared are we to receive him? What is that we have in our arsenal that when somebody of that sort comes at that speed, how we are protecting it? So that comes to another thing. A diamond can cut only another diamond. So it's AI. If you use AI, we have your AI is to be used on that. So this is what my take on this is. So we also leverage on AI automation primarily, which not only looks into the older aspects, what we look into who came in and who went back, or on the logs or the events. Rather, we look into the telemetry, wherein we are now looking into the behaviors of how these things are working, and based on which we are putting the countermeasures over there. So this is exactly what we do when we come to a situation or a stage where the technologies which is enabling me is also enabling my attackers as well. So it's all preparedness. How are you preparing? Preparing from the compliance perspective. Like, for example, if somebody attacks you, do you have all this phone numbers on your play so that we can immediately contact whom to have? So this comes from the very basic of process, the compliances, the team, the response team, everything on together, powered, backed up by all the technologies that is advanced today, which is primarily AI and automation.
Now, that's great to hear again. And I also did a little bit of research into the foreign insurance, and I also learned that you have one of the fastest claims processing time here in the country. Now, just taking into account something that Mr. Vimod just mentioned, which is, preempting an attack, and, also the attacker learning, like you use ChatGPT, the attacker also uses this. So I want to know, like, the reduction in time, has that actually affected your cybersecurity in any way, or has it made your defense systems go up a little more?
All the technologies, whenever there is an advancement, and the other side, the opposite is also happening. So the risks are high. So we have built our defensive systems, including various controls and the security systems. So, and also the processes around it. So, and based on what we learn from our monitoring systems and alerts which we are getting, and we are having a process to resolve those issues also. We want to build on whatever technology available and the control system that can be put to defend.
I'm very happy to hear this. Now, we're actually short of time, gentlemen, but everyone here is available during the networking break if anybody wants to meet them. Thank you so much for your time. Some really good insights being shared here. And this was definitely an eye-opener to learn a lot about cybersecurity, how you're scaling from boardroom perspectives, how the FLC sector and from the insurance sector, things are moving forward in Oman. Thank you so much, gentlemen, and we move to the next segment.
Thank you all for the engaging discussion. Could all the participants and the moderator please come together for a group photo? Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to celebrate excellence together. We are proud to present the OERLive DX Excellence Awards 2025, an initiative that honors outstanding achievements in digital transformation. These awards spotlight the trailblazers driving meaningful innovation across industries. And now it's my honor to invite our honorable chief guest, His Excellency Sheikh Zba' bin Hamdan Al-Saadi, on stage to present the awards. I would kindly request Mr. Khalfan Al-Rahbi and Mr. Saeed Al-Ma'shani, Deputy CEO of United Media Services, to join His Excellency on stage. We begin the day with the AI-Powered Service Delivery Award. This is presented to a company that has successfully integrated AI-powered chatbots and advanced analytics to revolutionize customer service, enhance operational efficiency, and redefine the contact center experience by leveraging intelligent automation. They have elevated customer engagement, improved response times, and set new benchmarks in digitally enabled service delivery. The winner of the AI-Powered Service Delivery Award is Infoline. Congratulations, Infoline. We now move on to the Smart Energy Infrastructure Innovator Award, which recognizes a groundbreaking deployment of smart grid components and IT technology that transforms power generation. This award celebrates a company that has implemented intelligent sensors, automated controls, and real-time monitoring tools to boost reliability, optimize load balancing, and enable predictive maintenance, significantly enhancing the resilience and efficiency of Oman's electrical infrastructure. The Smart Energy Infrastructure Innovator Award goes to Zawawi Powertech Engineering. Congratulations, Zawawi Powertech. The next award is for excellence in digital transformation in the banking and finance sector. This goes to a bank that has led the way in implementing a holistic, future-focused digital strategy. By investing in mobile-first services, AI-driven personalization, and seamless digital payment tools, the bank has empowered its customers to bank smarter and more securely, redefining convenience and setting a national benchmark for digital maturity. The winner of the Excellence in Digital Transformation Award is Bank Muscat. Now we present the Innovation in Tech-Enabled Governance Award, which recognizes an organization that has played a transformative role in modernizing governance through cutting-edge advisory and digital implementation. The award goes to a company that has enabled smarter, more transparent public service delivery through platforms that support digital identity, threat intelligence, and security architecture. Their work has empowered institutions with greater agility, operational oversight, and cyber resilience, enabling a secure and responsive digital government framework. The Innovation in Tech-Enabled Governance Award goes to Securado. We now move on into the Customer First Digital Platform Innovator Award. This goes to a company that has reimagined user engagement by replacing the customer experience at the core of its digital strategy. Through a powerful and intuitive mobile and web interface, the company enables seamless loan applications, real-time account access, and personalized services. Its innovation has streamlined internal operations and elevated convenience for both individual and SME clients. The winner of the Customer First Digital Platform Innovator Award is تأجير Finance. We now move on to the Cybersecurity Excellence in Financial Services Award, which honors a bank demonstrating exceptional strength in protecting customer assets and data. This recipient has implemented advanced threat detection using automation, behavioral analytics, and proactive hunting capabilities. They have strengthened customer protections through mandatory multi-factor authentication, secure banking platforms, and fraud detection systems. Additionally, they have aligned tightly with the Global and Central Bank of Oman cybersecurity standards like PCI DSS and ISO 27001 to ensure consistently robust risk governance. The winner of the Cybersecurity Excellence in Financial Services Award is Oman Arab Bank. Congratulations, Oman Arab Bank. And now we present the Public-Private Integration Excellence Award. This award recognizes a company that has successfully bridged Oman's national digital priorities with scalable private sector innovation. The winner has created a collaborative platform that streamlines public procurement, SME participation, and data interoperability, aligning closely with the goals of Oman Vision 2040 and supporting national competitiveness through digital infrastructure. The winner of the Public-Private Integration Excellence Award is Business Gateways International. Our next award celebrates innovation in personal tech, the AI-powered Mobile Experience Leader Award. This award goes to a company that has seamlessly integrated on-device AI to enhance everything from photography and multitasking to performance and privacy. with features like AI motion sensing, facial recognition, personalized UI flows, and extended software support. This brand has set a new standard in smartphone intelligence. The winner of the AI-powered Mobile Experience Leader Award is Honor. We now move on to the Smart Mobility Innovation Award. This award is presented to a brand that has redefined modern driving through design, performance, and intelligent features. With its coupe-inspired silhouette, advanced ADAS, AI-assisted driving tech, and a powerful 2.0-liter turbocharged engine, the winning SUV blends comfort, safety, and connectivity, creating a forward-thinking driving experience built for today's digital age. The winner of the Smart Mobility Innovation Award is Shangan Unique. Our next accolade is the Customer-Centric Digital Insurance Provider of the Year, an award honoring a company that has revolutionized customer experience through a digital policy management portal. The winning provider has introduced an innovative mobile and web interface that allows customers to purchase, renew, and manage policies, including motor, health, life, and travel insurance entirely online. Integrated systems deliver real-time quotes, CRM connectivity, and seamless policy downloads, offering unparalleled convenience and service accessibility. The Customer-Centric Digital Insurance Provider Award goes to the Far Insurance Company. Next, we present the Best E-Trading Platform Oman Award, celebrating the leading digital solution for equity and capital market access in the Sultanate of Oman. This platform, which is now widespread amongst investors, delivers lightning fast trade execution, real-time analytics, and a highly intuitive dashboard. The winner of the Best E-Trading Platform Oman Award is United Securities for E-Tadawul. Now we move on to the final award of the day. This award recognizes the pioneers in digital Islamic banking. This goes to a bank that has led the way in aligning Sharia-compliant principles with cutting-edge digital services. This institution has earned recognition as one of Oman's trusted brands, offering seamless mobile and online account opening, contactless payments, and a comprehensive suite of Islamic-compliant products. They continue to drive financial inclusion through innovation while upholding ethical banking standards. The winner of the Pioneers in Digital Islamic Banking Award is Bank Muscat. presentation, a heartfelt congratulations to all the winners. Your dedication and excellence have truly earned this recognition. Now it's my honor to invite His Excellency Sheikh Salim bin Mustahil al-Ma'shani on stage to present a memento on behalf of United Media Services to our chief guest, His Excellency Sheikh Sba' bin Hamdan al-Saadi. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm round of applause for Mr. Saud Al-Zakwani. He's a leading AI practitioner who has been instrumental in advancing the company's digital ambitions. He also leads the robotics process automation and technology incubation programs with expertise in in-country value automation, machine learning, deep learning, and computer vision. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Saud Al-Zakwani.
So yes, my name is Saud Zakwani. I'm the head of digital transformation in Petroleum Development of Oman, an AI practitioner and quite an enthusiast, curious to learn, and more importantly, I experiment on everything. So I'd like to start by thanking the event organizers. One of the best conferences I do attend is this one, and specifically based on the autonomy that I have to be able to bring topics that I believe would be interesting for you and more importantly for Oman. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to present Agentic AI. Agentic AI is the new formulation of technology. It is definitely not generative AI, and we're going to demystify what it is, what it brings, and the threats and challenges that it also comes with. Buckle up. Okay, so I have this story, which I'm not sure how relevant it is, but still we'll give it a try. When I was young, it's not like I'm very old, but a few decades ago, at home, every one of us had a show. There's those who used to clean, there's those who actually tidied up. I had one thing to do because I was the youngest. So my responsibility was anytime my parents comes back, I had to open the gate. Period. Sounds simple, but I hated it. Why? Because the first horn is open the gate. The second horn is a warning. The third horn, run away from home. You don't want to open the gate. I used to hate it so much that any time I was actually doing something interesting, my parent will come back home. Playing PlayStation keeps on coming back and forth. I have to cut bits and pieces. And I always thought, why do I have to do this? Few years later, my parent invested in a remote where he can actually press and the gate opens. It was the best day. That was automation. Very standard approach. You can literally buy it few hundreds, 200, 300 riyals. And every time he comes, he actually clicks, opens up. Relevance to technology, that's not generative. That's not even agentic. That's pure linkage based on hardwiring, or you can call it RPA, which opens the gate. I was so happy that I could actually enjoy the rest of what I could do. In relevance, I keep on thinking, if automation actually allows my parent to be able to open the gate, what's the next evolution? Speech? Probably have a conversation while coming back home? generative. Currently, you can actually talk to Siri, they can open your gate for you. You don't have to press, you're still 2 hands on the steering wheel. Now, how does agentic come in? Agentic, ladies and gentlemen, is nothing but autonomy from end to end. My parent does not have to do anything. He or she has to continue with his own business. While coming back home, if it was agentic, it will not only open the gate, but it will open the gate in timely manner that when they reach, the gate is actually open. Not when they reach, then it opens the gate. But agentic, what it does is it will make sure the main door is open. It will make sure 15 minutes ago, the heater was already switched on because every time he goes, he takes a bath. It will also make sure the temperature in his bedroom is set to what he likes. Nothing was actually hardwired, but it's patterns which it learns. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is autonomy, is agentic AI. Now, we are also seeing a couple of vendors who are coming and presenting agentic AI. It is quite interesting. It's good. However, distinguishing based on generative and agentic is quite important also. Investing in agentic AI currently is not done mostly because the technology is not matured yet. Now, pillars of agentic AI. Now, agentic AI, you have to look at it as your friend who's really smart, really, really smart. You can ask him a question, and if the question is not that good, even he or she will figure it out. So, autonomy is number one. Generative AI is not autonomous. Why? You have to prompt it. You have to give it perception. You have to tell it what you actually want. You do not direct it directly. Autonomy is when it actually addresses a task, a project, a program from A to Z. ChatGPT, you still have to copy the text and put it in your email. That's not agenticity. That's still generative AI, but you're doing your tasks manually. Reasoning. And this is a very good example. We were having a challenge on one of the sessions where a company presents agentic, and we were challenged if it was actually agentic or not. And I asked it one question. I said, if it was telecommunication, agentic AI I should be able to ask, where are the next 100 customers going to come from? I should not give it data. It's already linked up to data. I should not ring fence it or build boundaries based on what decision I want. It has to be unbiased, but we have to be able to ask chunky questions. What are the next 10 drilling rigs I have to focus on? What's my focus on the next 5 years of my company? These are chunky questions. These are questions sometimes you take 6 months to be able to answer. So the reasoning is quite important. Giving data and saying, oh, this is the table and this is what you're going to get data from and this is the HR table. No, you're using generative AI and trying to feed it with information for you to get your answers. High adaptability. So if I've been using agentic AI for the past 4.5 months now, I do my travel plans quite well. So it was quite interesting. I tried recently to do a travel plan, and it kept on pushing me away from Middle East. And I asked, Middle East could be very affordable. And the response was, Middle East is not stable yet. Adaptability is what happens, you don't know, but it actually can figure out. And lastly, complex decision. If it's a math equation and it solves it, that's not complex. Complex is some information you're not aware, the unseen, but it can actually incorporate it in decision making. Okay, so major difference between generative AI and agentic AI will come, but these are the foundation. Generative AI does not have a perception. Every chart you have to ring fence. Your prompt, as long as it is, but you have to say it, I want to reply an email, this is my boss, and this. Agentic builds perception on its own. And every perception, it builds another perception on top of it. So it's an actual singular entity that you can interact with. Generative AI, it's threads. Cognition, we spoke about processing information. Generative, the more information you give it, the more valuable it is. Agentic, it's more or less you give it a database. You give it a research data bank. You give it the website. You give it internet. It builds recognition from it. And lastly, ChatGPT will never take actions for you. It will always tell you your insight. You have to take actions. Agentic, if it does not take an action, then it's not agentic. Agentic is not only generating the report, but being able to also send that report, and if there's a response, answers the response. A major difference, we spoke about primary function agentic, it's decision making. Generative AI is context. Agentic, goal-oriented, prompt-based, learning approach, learns and refines strategies over time, relies in pre-trained patterns, and autonomy level. In generative is very low, while agentic is very high. I'll tell you a couple of interesting, I'll tell you maybe one. Part of the experiment is a person actually creates an agentic AI thread to a communication he has with his supervisor. And he tells agentic, maintain this communication. Your goal is to convince the supervisor that my workload is very high. 3 days after, his supervisor calls him and says, why did you resign? Based on the conversation, he reached a point where the only solution to resolve the workload is for him to resign. So that's an action, by the way. ChatGPT will not do that for you. Okay. Benefits of agentic AI. Now, we always spoke about how AI is going to replace our jobs. And we always spoke about, no, it's not matured enough. AI, if your job was writing emails and responding emails, mostly it's ChatGPT has it covered. Agentic AI is coming into what we're actually doing best, decision making. We have seen outcomes from agentic AI where we could not comprehend. Outcomes, for example, the travel plan. You don't know what it knows. It understands the unseen. Agentic AI is enhanced automation. Our current capability is, A, it goes to B, goes to C, goes to D. You plug each and everything, and then you call that automation. Agentic does not see it that way. You give it A, you give it Z. How it automates in between, it's up to the machine learning process itself. Increased efficiency. Generative AI did increase efficiency for a fact. Agentic AI comes in a very different approach. If you have companies who are sending invoices, you can always use generative AI to actually understand the invoice. Agentic AI replaces the entirety of that department. An invoice comes, it reads, it fills it in whichever ERP system you have, and you can even allow, based on a ring fence, if it's less than 500, go ahead and pay. If it is more, then ask for this approval or that approval. Scalability. At the moment, we are very, very on a starting point, and I'll explain where we are currently. We are very excited when you have an agentic AI. Really excited. Trust me, it's very exciting. But the power of agentic AI comes when you have multiple agents talking to each other. That's where you actually have a knowledge base and an expert system on supply chain, logistics, procurement, for example, payments, and everything talks to each other where you automate end to end based on your processes. Lastly, proactive problem solving. We always pay consultancy to understand the benchmark, market intelligence. If we are using the same agentic AI, whoever is using it, it learns from them, adapts to the best practices, and you have it literally overnight. A couple of examples. Customer service, if you look at in Oman, mostly the benchmark is for every 60 employees, you have one IT help desk catering to between 60 to 80. The main role, pick up the phone, understand what's your issue, you want to reset your password, log into your system, helps you in resetting. We have seen agentic AI cover a lot of these incidents. Mostly 20 to 25% of these incidents are covered completely without any human interface. Healthcare. If you go to the hospital and you have a headache, the doctor gives you Panadol and paracetamol. Trust me, on your way back, you'd say, the worst doctor I've ever seen. Why? He did not have the expertise to go deeper. He just fixed your symptom. Probably there's something else which is causing your headache. Agentic AI will never look at the surface. It will always go in depth. Areas that we are actually exploring, and this sometimes it's two sides of the coin. For example, cybersecurity, we have to employ agentic AI because hackers are also employing agentic AI. Agentic AI is in cybersecurity, it's continuously monitoring of changes which are abnormal and taking actions. Normally, we monitor, but taking actions, we tend to take time. Agentic AI is on point. Hackers are using that also, looking at loopholes, and as soon as it finds one, just attack. We're also seeing in supply chain is one of the chess piece where things literally change overnight. The current crisis we're having in the Middle East cuts down supply chain quite a bit. Just changing your logistics between shipment from A to B based on whatever has happened is a nightmare. I've seen people literally going 16 hours a day trying to figure out how they can get A, B, or C. Agentic AI reroutes it automatically. We spoke about travel plan. Good thing my travel plan was outside. It was in Asia. Yeah. So travel plan from A to Z actually showcases your which hotels you need to book and the likes of it. Now, here's the interesting part of travel plan. I was not comfortable to put my credit card. So it will react like generative AI until I approve it, then it will book. But you can set based on the hotel that you are willing to pay, which stars, and it will book for you. If they actually write you an email, it will respond back. And your next travel plan, you probably have a travel agent, one of the agentic AIs you can use. Okay, current challenges. We're very tuned in human values on our responsibility to take decisions. This tradition itself, to change it, is not going to happen overnight. Having agentic AI to come into the market and start taking decisions on our behalf, we have to rewire the entirety of how we operate. Our business models have to change completely. And I'll give you an example. Currently, we have autonomous cars. Autonomous cars travel from A to B without any driver. We still don't know if it does have an accident. How do we go through insurance, legality, who pays for what, and whose mistake is it? Is it the driver who does not exist, by the way? Is it the car model owner? Or is it the person who actually bought the car? So these frameworks have to be rewired again to be able to understand how we can incorporate. Control and safety. I spoke about the resignation. Yes, agentic sometimes putting boundaries is quite challenging. If you put boundaries, then you're limiting quite a lot of creativity. Sometimes you don't want to resign, and letting AI take decisions for you might take you there. Technical complexity. AI till today, we have a level of understanding on how it operates, but still, we don't know how it actually makes decisions. And it's quite interesting because I'd like you to take a second and think if you know how a calculator works. If you do, amazing. If you know how a calculator works, should be in engineering or inventing something. Most of us, we don't, but we still use it and we trust it. Why? Years of experience, the tool, a tool which provides productivity, and I believe AI and agentic will come very soon. Lastly, we spoke about regulatory frameworks, how we write frameworks with AI. It has to be very different. It's AI and humans are two different capacity. The frameworks currently abide to us. If we are bringing AI into the mix, we have to rewire it again. Future opportunities. We spoke about having one is exciting, but having multiple, then you have an army of agentic AIs working for you. In future, I foresee probably before 2030, where companies are going to become smaller. We'll have more companies set up, but the concept of a company operating with a competitive advantage and not having agentic supply that cognitive is going to be it's not something that I see a competitive advantage for the company. We're also going to see enhanced reasoning. We're already seeing decisions which we would never thought were possible before. From car manufacturing chassis design on how we should design a chassis to decisions that we actually make based on our business models to sometimes stopping something to just gain more out of another element is something that we are actually experiencing. And I'll give you an example. In PDO, there is a theory, if you look in research, that if you have multiple wells, sometimes closing some wells will produce more based on pressure. And it makes sense if you look at theory, but go to engineers and say, look, let's implement this theory. It's very difficult for an engineer to actually be willing to close a well. It needs a lot of research. Agentic AI is providing that element into our operations, that some wells stealing pressure and closing them would actually get us more production. We've seen it working and we are actually still experimenting it. And lastly, opportunities in cross-domain integration. AI is not an expert in math, is not an expert in English. AI cuts across. You can have one single agent which addresses multiple departments. Yep, shaping tomorrow. So before I thank you and leave you to this, I always say it's easy to preach, difficult to practice. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever you see today is a result of an agentic AI. The entire PowerPoint, I did not change one character, was created not by ChatGPT, but an agentic AI based on 32 words of my prompt. My prompt simply said, I need a PowerPoint with a dynamic audience in Oman, which covers agentic AI, and my objective is to demystify this. I took probably a day to practice, which is way more longer than 16 minutes for the AI to actually create it. ChatGPT does not create PowerPoint slide. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Saud, for those insightful perspectives. Truly, AI is revolutionizing industries across the board. Dear guests, please register yourselves for the Honor Beta User Program for the upcoming flagship model Honor Magic V5 by dropping your cards at the Honor booth outside. Now we move on to our next speaker, which is Shri Hari Venkatesh, Director of Application Security at Securato. He oversees the company's P&L and drives strategic growth through sales leadership, channel partnerships, and global expansion. With a master's degree in information systems from EPITA, Paris, and extensive experience in IT infrastructure and cybersecurity, he brings a powerful blend of technical expertise and commercial acumen. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shrihari Venkatesh.
I'm Srihari Venkatesh, and I handle the application security portfolio of Securado. And thanks UMS team for this opportunity to share my knowledge and how we have trained an AI model and how we have put that to the best use of it. So, to start with, I would like to go through one of the paper clips that I came across very recently, and that impressed me a lot. I want AI to do my laundry and dishes so that I can do the art and writing, and not the AI to do my art and writing so that I can do the laundry and dishes. How many of you all agree with this? Today, yes, I can see a lot of hands that is going up. Yes. Today, we are in an era where AI has become a part of our life, right? So, a year back, roughly, early morning, I go to the office, I take my seat. The first thing that I open in my laptop is the email. I check my emails, I reply to that. But today it's changed, right? I open any of the AI, platforms, and then I go to the email because that gives me the convenience to reply to those emails effectively, right? But there comes a question: how do you effectively use that AI so that you don't end up doing the dishes, right? And next thing, the other thing that I wanted to show you as an example so that you don't do the dishes is I was looking into one of the speeches by a famous world leader in the AI summit that took place earlier this year in France. How many of you happened to watch it? Well, there was one of the world leaders, who quoted, if you ask one of the AI apps to generate a picture with a human writing in his left hand, it would generate a picture of a human writing in the right hand. Well, I tried it, and that's what you're seeing here on the screen. So, what is the solution for this, right? So, I'll get to the solution, and I'll share my knowledge on how we have created an AI, agentic AI, and put that to the best use to get better results out of it. So today, all our friends here talked about digital transformation, and one of the speakers, Mr. Ahmed, thanks a lot for sharing insights on data, the growth of data, right? But the question is, how do we protect? Because we all have been hearing one thing, that data is next oil, right? Oil is not anymore oil because transitions are happening to EVs, but data is next oil, right? So how do we protect it? That's where we have fine-tuned the AI, put that to the best use in Securado. Being in the business of cybersecurity, let's look into the traditional SOC limitations, the Security Operations Center, where people sit, monitor day in, day out, respond to the incidents, and then keep us secure through the entire journey of digital transformation, right? The problem with traditional SOC, and the other side, the problem with the landscape as of today is an average significant outage costs $1.3 million, right? And 99% of the configuration of the breaches will happen because of misconfigurations in 2025. If we look at the attack vectors in 2024, the number one attack vector was email phishing. As of 2025, the number one attack vector is misconfigurations. And an average enterprise uses 45 tools to protect their data. So how do you monitor all these tools, right? 45 tools, 45 different language that speaks, so much of noise in your environment, so much of things to look into. There might be a how do you bridge this gap? Right? That's today's problem. So with the traditional SOC, the problem is you cannot predict and prevent disruptions, increased risk, complex network and security operations, because we are looking at what these 45 security controls are talking. Right? Different languages from different vendors, different network segments, all it sits into. Right? So signatures are no longer effective, which means the logs from these devices in a silos are not effective. You cannot protect your data when you look into it in silos. No single source of truth, because the breach does not happen at one point, but it traverses or it takes a lateral movement through your network. Maybe an endpoint is infected and you finally have your data exposed sitting in one of the databases. That's what is happening, right? So what is the solution for this? The only way to stop this is to look at the data or the threat in real time. How do we do it? 45 security controls for one organization. How many cybersecurity engineers do we have? How many security operations center analysts, L1, L2, L3, we have? A very matured organization will have 3 to 4 people in a shift, 3 shifts a day, 12 to 15 resources. How do we look into all of this? How do we stop this? That's where we propose a platform called the Managed Cyber Defense with an agentic AI. What we have achieved out of it is what we're going to be looking in the next set of slides. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Managed Cyber Defense platform powered by AI, agentic AI, with specific as one of my good friends, Mr. Saud, gave me a heads up on, gave all of us a heads up on generative AI versus agentic AI, right? So these are all the security controls in the visibility zone. I've named a very few, but Gartner tells on an average an enterprise has 45 plus security controls. Then the analytical zone is where the tools that are present within an organization to correlate all the logs that are coming from all of your 45 controls, plus the AI and ML is the key differentiator. Because imagine one security control gives you 10 logs, 45 security control, 450 events per second. How many people can sit and look at it, right? So you need an AI who looks into each of that, categorizes it, and then gives a new meaning to people, process, and technology, right? Because human intelligence is far more than sitting and analyzing the L1 incidents, or it's far more than writing the basic new node code and everything, because we have platforms to do that, right? No code, low code, and many more to talk about, and AI is taking a big chunk of it. So with this AI, what if I tell you that the L1 interventions have been reduced by 90%, literally 90%, so that I can have people doing meaningful things that makes more of sense to what they do, and they justify it to their daily roles and responsibilities. For example, this is one of the use cases where a new application is introduced within a company, right? Because everything is now modernization, digital transformation, paperless, going full on applications. When a new application is introduced for an enterprise, it takes 5 to 6 teams to evaluate that application, to roll out, to adopt to that change, and to get that application live. And that important responsibility of rolling out that application live goes to the security team, because that's where your data is. But what if I tell you this agentic AI can predict the launch of the new application with the traffic patterns that it has been sensing for past 7 days? Ahmed receives an alert forecasting high processing activity, and then clicks on the alert, finds a root cause, and he chats with the AI agent. Look how normal the L1 interactions have been modernized to with the agentic AI. Similarly, the MCD platform analyzes telemetry in very real time, and you can have or you can take meaningful decisions. Meaningful decisions in the sense, I mean, not clerical decisions that you wanted to take, but you can look into fine tuning your policies. That's what you're supposed to do, or doing right what is required for your business so that you protect your data. And not only that, if you remember the first attack vector that I talked about, misconfigurations, 2025's number one attack vector. It was phishing email in 2024, but with all the awareness and sessions that's been going around, I mean, today misconfigurations is the number one attack vector, and you can address that effectively with the agentic AI. So what do you get out of it? Proactive real-time security monitoring to prevent incidents, rich and holistic threat data, consistent threat protection. How did we do it? Right? Everyone are talking about building AI, applications out of AI, where they are trying to normalize the entire, agentic job. The L1 level, give it to an AI, and it will take care of it. There are few steps that you need to be looking into, when you take an LLM model, be it a base model or a matured model in the same domain that you're looking at. You need to go through these 4 steps that we went through. These were our basic principles that helped us get a model that really worked and that really works. So anyone looking in this room, business leaders looking to go ahead and improvise your entire business by adopting AI, please follow these and it will work. It will do wonders. The first one is data preparation and quality. So the data that you're trying to train your AI with should be of highest quality. Why? Because, I mean, there are multiple ways that you can, train an AI. By tokenization is one common method, where word level tokenization, character level tokenization, and byte level, tokenization. That's what ChatGPT adopts. So the quality of data is good, the output is good. When the quality of data is not good, the output is not good. And second is prompt engineering. You keep training your AI, you get the good set of quality data, you train the AI, and then you start interacting with the AI and you keep correcting the AI. You keep correcting it, and fine tuning happens at that point where you choose the right base model, then you fine tune it, then you have the specific data sets that are required. Then evaluation of that AI, the LLM that you have created or an agentic AI that you have created, right? Evaluation is a key. Why? Because AI can go rogue anytime. That's why we have AI governance, ISO 42001 standard, and our MTCIT, Ministry of Transport, Communication, Information Technology, has come out with AI governance based on ISO 42001. Talk about NIST, they have AI governance framework. There are multiple bodies that we need to adopt either one of them, and then design the solution ground up with the right and relevant policies, procedures, governance, and compliance. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and this is our experience with the AI. We have gotten something to work, and that's why got me excited to speak, and thanks for the opportunity.
We now turn our attention to an exciting international brand, Honor. To take us through the brand's regional journey and its forward thinking approach to AI integration, we are pleased to welcome Mr. Mohammed Zubair Nazir, KDR Channel Manager, Honor Oman. He has strong expertise in retail training, sales channel development, and performance analysis across Oman and Qatar. With a proven track record at Honor, he has driven growth by establishing high performing parameter teams and leading impactful training initiatives. He specializes in sellout strategies, inventory management, and KPI driven performance improvement. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Mohammed Zubair Nazir to the stage.
Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon, everyone. And thank you very much for the opportunity for this great event. I like to present here the honor, how smart we are in this era. Actually, everybody using a smartphone these days, right? And the smartphone should be a more smarter and intelligent in this era. So Honor basically perform a lot of things in this term of artificial intelligence to enhance our devices. Before I go to introduce how our achievements, what are our achievements and what we did in artificial intelligence, I like to share some my company statistics with all of you. So right now, 14,000 plus employees are working with us in the back end office, and 52,000 retail stores right now active. Those are selling the Honor products, and 250 million plus numbers of the active devices in globally. So from the smartphone maker to the global leading AI device ecosystem company. Actually, previously the Honor just a smartphone manufacturer. But right now, Honor jumped to the another level. Right now, we are a leading AI device ecosystem company. So how we achieve those achievements, I like to share some of the statistics. We are having a 70% plus R&D personnel ratio, 11.5% R&D investment to revenue ratio, which is one of the highest revenue we invest in R&D, and 300 plus monthly patents application volume. So how we achieve that? Of course, we are having so many R&D research and development centers in a globe, like in a Beijing, Shenzhen, Xi'an, Nanjing, and Shanghai, Honor France Institute, and Honor Japan Institute as well. So moreover, Honor Intelligent Manufacturing Industrial Park, 85% plus industrial processing are automated. And of course, 60 plus percent independent research and development equipments Honor used to the date. And earlier this year, Honor launched the Honor Alpha Plan. So what is the basically Honor Alpha Plan? As I already highlighted previously, Honor is not a just smartphone manufacturer company now. So this year, we launched the Honor Alpha Plan, which is based on the 3 phases. The first step is an intelligent smartphone, and second, an intelligent ecosystem, and the third step, an intelligent world. So how we achieve that? Of course, Honor has a huge investment in this 10 billion USD dollars we are investing on this part. Honor 5-year investment based on 10 billion USD dollars. And over here, our global iconic tech brands driven innovation. We are right now holding a market share in the different regions in top 5 smartphone companies. Like Europe, we are in the top 5 market share. Middle East, we are having top 5 market share. Latin America and Malaysia region as well. If I talk more about our growth, I like to share over here the Southeast Asia, we have 108% plus growth, 53% in the Middle East and Africa, 51% in Latin America, and Russia 37%, South Pacific 35%, and Europe 16 plus percent we have the growth. If I talk about the country wise, after those investment, what we harvest, what we achieve. So we have the different countries market share over here in the Middle East and Africa. So like Iraq 31% market share, Jordan 27, Kuwait 22, and Oman 16.7% market share. In this year, we are planning end of this year, inshallah, we will be take care of 20 or 22% market share in this country. and KSA 16%, Qatar 15.6, UAE 17, and South Africa 11%. So same way, if I talk about the tablet market share, so all Middle East and Africa countries, we have the very good market share, including in Oman, 11% Honor tablet products are holding a small share in a tablet category. So over here, our engagements in the tech industry, Honor basically our priority to close to our consumers. So we participate in the lot of tech-based industrial exhibitions like KSA Leap, UAE Honor Innovation, AfricaCom, and Iraq High Tech as well. So of course, in the Middle East and Africa region, people really love the football. They are very close to that. And we also love to close our consumers. So we participate in the different sports, including a football as well. So over here is our product portfolio. So Honor has complete ecosystem, as I mentioned. Right now we have the smartphone category, which is a Magic series, is our flagship series. And number series, the N series is cover our mid-range, and X series is a low-end range. So same way we are having a tablets, laptop, audio devices, and the wearables in this country and Middle East and Africa region as well. A smarter life with AI productivity. How Honor is a more smarter as compared to other brands. Of course, we work a lot with the AI. So some of the parts I want to highlight over here, like AI Office, which will be covered to Honor Connect, AI live translation, AI subtitles, and AI writing tools, which is equipped inside, not required and any third-party applications. AI Assistant, which will be covered the AI Magic Portal. This is our software, our customization, which can help to the consumers easy user experience, and also Magic Capsule, which can help to the consumer to see the notification on the top bar, and Gemini, of course, the Google Gemini, which is Honor collaborate with the Google Gemini and make it more efficient AI assistant. And of course, we work on AI security, AI deepfake detection. Of course, technology is very advanced in these days. So a lot of scammers use the multiple tools. So same way, we are having the deepfake detection in case if anybody call through the AI or fake calls, our smartphone giving the notification on the top bar, the deepfake is detected. I will show you in the coming slides as well. So over here, the industry leading function Honor Connect. This is Honor internal application which can help you to connect with the iOS operating system. So right now we launched this function only in China market, and very soon we will be launched globally. So it will help to our those consumer, those want to transfer a data or they want to shift from iOS devices to Android. It will be take a complete data backup from iOS to Android. AI live translation, breaking the language barriers, of course, on the live call. So, in case of consumer supposed to talk with some different nationality people or different region people on the live call, it can help to translate in their own language. And moreover, I like to highlight over here the AI subtitles, which is very advanced function. On the video clip, you guys can see our CEO is highlighting some Honor Alpha plan on the international platform. So there is Arabic subtitles are coming. So that function will be activated on the Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Shahid, Snapchat, X, and etc. etc. So these AI translation will be supported to some third-party applications as well, which can help to the consumer to watch their own language subtitles. So over here, AI deepfake detection. There is some video clips can be highlighted like original video, deepfake video, and immediately the notification will be detect that the video call is based on AI. So that is the most advanced AI deepfake detection Honor using right now in their smartphones. And of course, we work with the Google Gemini, make it more efficient experience of AI assistant with the help of Google. I like to mention over here the AI meeting assistant. AI meeting assistant is very intelligent and smart function. This is not a third-party application. This is Honor internal notepad function. In case the consumer attend the meeting, you just open the notepad and there is a recording button. Just click on the recording. The notepad automatically generate all the meeting minutes, key points, what you highlighted all over your meetings. And after that, you can collect and it can help you to write your meeting minutes and you can remember all the meeting points over here. So over here, the clip can help you to highlight, just make a type note. And in the last, there is a recording button. And once press, it will be record and write according to your speech, all your meeting minutes in the notepad. And the lastly, I like to mention over here, as I mentioned, Honor has the complete ecosystem like smartphone, tablets, and PC as well. And we are having AI Magic Ring. Magic Ring, basically, the purpose of this function to connect all the devices together, like smartphone with the PC, smartphone with the tab, or tab with the PC. So all those multiple gadgets screen you can use in the one device. So you can collaborate the data transfer. Even you can use like smartphone inside the PC or smartphone inside the tablet as well. So this is the advanced collaboration system and very efficient and safe as well. That's what for today. I like to mention over here how Honor collaborated with AI functions, and of course, a lot of plans in our pipeline in future in another platform. Surely, Honor will be highlight what we have more advanced in AI and other technologies. Thank you very much once again for the opportunity. Thank you.
We're all excited to see how advancements in AI will shape the future, especially through the smart devices we carry every moment. Next, we welcome Mr. Roger Haj, Chief Business Officer at UTTS Group, to the stage. With over 2 decades of strategic leadership in technology operations, consulting, and investment across the GCC, Mr. Haj is a results driven C level executive known for turning complex strategies into scalable growth. A recognized authority in digital transformation and ICT development, his expertise is matched by his unwavering commitment to quality and excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Roger Haj.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity of presenting here today. I know that many of our colleagues presented today on digital transformation and AI. Some of our colleagues presented on cybersecurity. In the morning, we have heard about Oman 4.0 and how important digital transformation for the journey of Oman 2040 vision, as well as AI-powered digital transformation is important in this new age of technology. I will not take much of your time. I will be focusing mainly on the main pillars and enablers for digital transformation projects. First, as an introduction, I represent UTTS Consulting. We are a leading technology consulting group based in Oman and having branches in the region. We are supporting clients in multiple industries. Our main focus is into the consulting, digital transformation. We are being entrusted by many governments across the region for their e-government transformation, as well as other industries into banking, private organizations, oil and gas, and so on. Cybersecurity is our third pillar, where we take it end to end. And the interesting part for our enablement journey is the AI Academy. As part of what we do also, and which is one of the key important enabler for digital transformation, is project management. Without project management, there will not be any successful projects. We top up all those services with our professional technology services. We all agree that digital transformation, it's not anymore a luxury, it is an evolution. It is restructuring business processes. It is touching every aspect of the business. It is modernizing every aspect of the business. It is driving how businesses operate. We always say innovate or stagnate. And this is what is all about in terms of digital transformation. In terms of touching upon the digital change, okay, there are several key aspects which are accelerating the needs for digital transformation. Mainly evolving customers' experience and expectations, technological advancement. We heard about our colleagues on AI, automations, IoT, and then where are we positioned in terms of competitive advantage and market leadership? Looking after the risk mitigations, one of it is cybersecurity, and increasing operational efficiency and agility. This is all leading into a data-driven decision-making where we are all talking about data is the new oil of economy. Beyond implementation, okay, we need to navigate the maturing landscape of digital transformation. This is very, very important in terms of developing strategies, prioritizing security, cybersecurity, and data governance. Our colleagues, they were talking about cybersecurity and data governance and how important it is during the transformation journey. Fostering agility and adaptability and focusing on user experience. It is not only about user experience, it's also about the digital experience. There are so many examples of digital transformation projects which ended up with a challenges or failures. And mainly those are caused by many reasons, whether it is misalignment with a strategy, cultural change, resistance to change, and then talent shortage and talent issues. And this is where the experience comes into the game, okay, enabling organizations throughout their digital transformation journey. One of the most important factors through the digital transformation journey and AI evolutions is the human factor. We need to talk about human intelligence more than artificial intelligence. It is all about a human. Let's go back into the basics. Without our people, without our experts, without our users, business users, there is no transformations. So let's refocus. Let's take a step back and focus on our human part of it. And again, I'm repeating it. It is the human intelligence part of it. So we need to focus on enhancing employee engagement, okay, navigating change and mitigating resistance. This is one of the major challenges organizations are facing in the region, which is the resistance for change. And then bridging the skills gap. With the new AI evolution, we're talking about agentic AI, generic AI, generative AI. Are we enabling our resources? Are we enabling our users with their digital skills? Are we working on reshaping their skills and their upskillings? And then after doing this, are we cultivating a culture of innovation and adaptability? Are they adaptable to the change? Are they resilient enough for the change and for the new systems which are coming up? And after that is driving adoptions and maximizing ROI. I was talking to many of our partners and colleagues, and they keep saying, we implemented that, but our management keeps talking about ROI. How can we measure ROI? What is the return for us on such implementations? And this is the most important factor in any digital transformation journey or AI implementations. Again, we go back into the human part of it, which is upskilling. I'm insisting on upskilling because this is one of the biggest enablers for the digital transformation, be it from the foundational AI and digital literacy into a targeted skills development. We're at UTTS, we're focusing heavily on upskilling and mainly focusing on AI and data science. We have created an interesting model of UTTS AI Academy, which is serving clients in this space in the region, enabling organizations in upskilling their resources, mainly looking at the cultural side of it. And post implementation is the continuous learning out of it. What are the lessons learned? What are the new technologies which are coming? And how can we enhance such implementations? And post those implementations is how can we integrate those learning into the business and learning out of it, development out of it. We all talk about digital transformation, then we talk about AI from the other side. Okay, so what is the role of AI in the digital transformation? Okay, it is enabling decision making. Okay, we heard our friend Zakwani about agentic AI. It's a full decision maker platform. Okay. We need to look at the process automation and efficiency of process. How can we streamline operations? This is another good application of AI. Agentic AI is a good positioning for this. It is helping decision makers through their journey in bringing the right aspect of it, the right data analysis to enable them to take the right decisions. Innovation is the most important part of it, and especially on AI implementations. How can you create unforeseen opportunities? Where are the gaps in the business? How can we improve the business performance? And how can we move it and scale it up? And at the end is service and service and service. Today, it is well known that a simple AI agent is servicing thousands and thousands of clients in seconds and minutes, and it's operating 24 by 7. What are the common challenges in AI adoption? Data quality is one of the main challenges. Majority of organizations overlook this area. They started their transformation journey without looking at their data quality and availability, without looking at cleansing their data, validating their data before starting this. This is one of the most important starting point to start your digital transformation and AI journey. So if you build up on unstructured data, you're going to end up with so many challenges. Talent gaps, this is across the world. There are a lot of talent shortage, mainly AI data analysis, which are enablers for the data transformation. And this is when again it comes the upskilling of resources and training of resources as enabler for this journey. If we touch upon integration with legacy system, there are so many organizations, we have seen it in the region, which are having legacy systems which are running, cannot get rid of, and integration with such systems is the major challenges. One of the organizations in the region, we've seen it, they had a system running for the last 20 plus years. It's a mainframe system. They are not able to integrate. So with the implementation of new systems, they were forced to run two parallel systems. Their resources were forced to key in manually data. So we analyzed the situation, and automation, RPA was one of the good positioning over there. A simple RPA robot can run the tasks in seconds, pulling the data from one system, moving it into the other system. It sorted a major problem, and it made their transformation journey much easier. Today, their existing users and the client does not see the old system anymore, rather than they see their new system moving in no time. We touched upon earlier on establishing clear ROI. So from initiating those projects, are we clear on what ROI are we going to achieve? How can we measure those ROI? What are the KPIs for measuring those ROI? Whether it is from internal point of view or from customer point of view, whether it is business performance or return on investment for the shareholders. And last but not least is the ethical consideration and governance. There are a lot of discussions around whether it is the AI implementations are ethical, governed, and what are the responses we are getting from AI, whether it is the right responses or not. Beyond implementation, we know that there are many organizations that have gone through successful implementations. Beyond this, the implementations, we need to look at very important aspect is how can we sustain the AI value. So one of the important matters is continuous monitoring and retaining adaptations. Are we enhancing the models of AI? Are we getting the value which we are looking at? How can we enhance such value? By continuously monitoring and adapting into those implementations. We need to look at another aspect, which is the operational integration and user adoptions. How efficient is being used such system, and how effective the users in utilizing such systems, and the results and outcomes which is coming out of it. And then again, it keeps coming, measuring ROI and strategic evolutions. How those AI implementation is aligned with our organization's strategic directions and evolutions. How helping us and helping the business to expand and grow and adding value to the business. Why should you partner with us as a consulting company? We bring a deep experience. We have a team of data digital transformation and AI specialists. We maintain our strategic partnership. We don't just implement, we guide and empower. We step in as a partner of choice with you. We look at all the aspect. We sit in your organization. We understand what are the business strategy, what are the strategic directions. We talk to your leaders. We understand what is their strategic directions for the business and the business growth. How can we add value? What can we recommend in terms of transformation first, be it people transformation, business transformation, or operating model transformation, and then we put it on track, and we start looking at some successful outcome of it. Those are all based on methodologies which we applied from our previous experience in different projects across the region and across industries. And those are built across the years, and we've sustained it with many AI initiatives. I would like to close my presentation with this. When digital transformation is done right, it's like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. But when it is done wrong, all you have is a really fast caterpillar. This is a sort of alarm because it's having the two sides, whether we do it right or we don't do it right. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your time. This is my contacts. For any support, we're available.
Thank you, Mr. Hatch, for that incredibly insightful session. We now move to our final presentation of the day. To deliver it, please join me in welcoming back on stage Mr. Naveen Narayanan, Managing Director and CEO of SSA Consulting Group. After his earlier contribution to the panel, we are excited to hear more from him as he shares his views on how technology is transforming industries, not just here in the Sultanate of Oman, but across the region and beyond. Please help me in welcoming him back on stage.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. I realize I'm standing between you and lunch, so I'll keep it swift and interesting for you to the best of my ability. Okay, so seems to take a minute to load up. So if I may ask from the group in the audience, how many of you or your organizations are at the moment driving a digital transformation program, by show of hand? Okay, so interesting. So I gather you should be able to relate with some of the talking points. Of course, I can't help but caveat it by saying that some of the things I'm going to talk about may be repeated themes because they're obviously issues that are topical and challenges that we all face in our daily lives, driving transformation in our workplaces. So I'm not going to repeat what digital transformation is. Of course, we've had some illustrious speakers talk about the importance of digital transformation and the speed with which change is happening in our ecosystem. And I'm being what I, in the space that I am in, doing what I do. I'm always very curious to see when I go to a restaurant or a shop or supermarket. I'm always curious to see how they're trying to change the experience. So there is always some underlying technology that is put to use, but the best use cases of digital transformation that I witnessed where the technology seamlessly fades into the background and all you're focused on is giving a good experience to the customer, the stakeholder, right? So I went to a store during one of the places we traveled to, and I could see how efficiently the agent could help us out. This was a footwear store, and how efficient he or she could tell real time if the design I'm looking for, the size I'm looking for is available in the store, and it took a matter of few seconds for them to retrieve it. And we all know in our growing up years how onerous it used to be to get the right size and the right fit and so on. So there is technology applied to improve the user experiences, and this is inevitable part of how the future is being shaped out, right? So we all experience, for example, ROP. We always keep setting the bar higher and higher, right? So now simple changes, I don't know if you notice, when you open the app now, they've integrated our IDs, and even simple things like the login experience. Your resident IDs, your number is already there, you just have to press a button. You don't even need to enter any information, right? How you keep making the experience seamless, and and it truly makes an impact to the ecosystem. Not sure if this video will play. I thought it's a funny take on digital transformation. Let me challenges that we need to address, and I'm very happy to see the theme of the conversations pretty much touched upon most of those challenges. So it is sometimes a bit of a puzzle that we need to solve to make sure all the components fit into place, both the technology stack, the enterprise architecture, and the people and change, the underlying rewiring the underlying processes, and make sure goals are aligned so that the transformation truly meets its objective. So it's a bit of course, I took this from a friend who part of his research program, and I found it very interesting that there are 4 pillars. Of course, we have people, process, strategy, technology, and all of these 4 elements need to interact to be able to produce the right outcome as part of this exercise, right? I'm I'm going to touch specifically on the key challenges that organizations face in realizing that dream or aspiration of creating better experiences and truly digitally transform, right? So I picked up on 3 pillars or 3 areas that you need to focus on, right? Which is culture, process, and alignment to business goals. I'm going to briefly touch upon these aspects and see if this you can relate with these elements. So the first, of course, we always in consulting we always like try to build houses and with pillars and so on. So pardon me for the stereotype, but I do find it is essential that the 2 pillars that you need to focus on the left you have the process framework, and the foundation of business processes. On the right you have the culture in the organization, right? So there are many instances where we jump in and try to adapt technology because it looks attractive and it looks differentiated, but we haven't truly asked the question, okay, what is the underlying process that is being changed, and what change we're going to bring to the customer experience, right? So the process based approach essentially is getting people to ask the right questions in terms of what are we doing, how is that being done, and what is the outcome that we are trying to produce for the stakeholder, right? When you start asking those questions, a lot of interesting churn happens, right? The first step is that everyone starts getting aligned with how we do things currently, because we oftentimes this is tribal knowledge, which means people have a general sense of what needs to be done, but it's not in a place, it's not documented to the extent where everyone understands a single source of truth. Now, once this is done, then we start asking the question, what is deficient in the process, right? And what needs to be fixed even before we start to bring in digitalization to the process, right? So this is one aspect. The second aspect is the cultural readiness, which I will dive into in a bit. But that itself is a big ocean of a subject, right? It talks about mindset shift, adapting change, communication, and creating that sense of urgency, and more importantly, creating that sense of excitement about doing something better, and therefore willingly participating in the transformation journey, right? The process based approach has many moving parts in itself, and it is not, despite how important and consequential it is in the scheme of things for transformation. One of my gripe, or our gripe, is that it hasn't been given enough headspace and attention in the scheme of things, because It takes time, it takes patience. You need to get people involved in the journey, and then it takes a lot of effort to rethink the way of doing things, right? So, for example, a simple process mapping exercise would seems like, world is really good. You have a process that looks like this, everything is logical, sequenced, and everyone knows what is to be done. But when you dive into the process, so there are process mining tools that can link with your underlying ERP systems. When you dive into the process and start asking the question, okay, how many transactions are being run? How long does this process take? Where are the delay points? Where are the bottlenecks in the process? So the underlying process may have significant mess that doesn't meet the eye, right? Now, when you have these moments of truth, this is one step or two steps before we talk about digitalizing, and transforming the process, right? When you unearth the underlying complexities in the process, you start asking logical questions, right? Why is activity number 3 the most, why every transaction is routed to activity number 3? Is it an extra layer of approval? Is it still necessary in the scheme of things? What if we eliminate that process completely? How will it impact the lead time of the process? So, a lot of these questions will help you to unearth meaningful moments of truth about the process. So only once this is done, you start thinking about what the future state of the enterprise should look like, right? So uh, we try to envision how the ideal world would look like, agnostic to again automating everything, or agnostic to again digitalizing everything, right? And once this is done, okay, you understand, you've articulated what the future looks like, or what is the true north we aspire to accomplish. Then you concurrently start tapping into whenever that changes, the lever of culture. So we spoke quite a bit about culture in bits and pieces in previous conversations. So, but one thing is clear, that if this lever is not cranked, the aspiration of a digital future state will remain a wish list, right? So Prosky prescribed, so there are many frameworks for change management, right? It's a subject you can do multiple PhDs on. But I picked up on one such framework for change management, which we have used effectively in the past, is the ADKAR framework for change management. This is prescribed by Prosky Institute. And we found it to be a very simplified view of how you bring about change in the organization. So ADKAR stands for awareness, desire, knowledge, and so on, right? Essentially, what is needed is, let me spend a second on the slide because this is important. Essentially, what we found is that in most organizations, people don't know what change is being brought about, and why it is important to the organization, and how it impacts them personally. So, the less we know about something, the more likely we are to resist it, right? So, this is where you start building awareness about the change, let people know what is being changed, why this is being changed, and so on and so forth, right? Part of this process, there are beautiful simulation exercises that are available, and we worked with some of these partners who have created uh, basic computer-based simulations, team activities or individual activities, and so on, where you do role play and you are asked that you are the change agent in your organization, and by the end of 30 days or 90 days, you are supposed to achieve 80% adoption in your ecosystem, right? So a lot of times we would follow very logical steps to bring about adoption. So you'll go say, I'm going to go to the CEO and ask him or her to send an email to everyone saying that this change is important, you all have to adopt it. Then you say, what is the outcome of that exercise? You say, okay, it moved the needle either positively or negatively, or we called for a town house meeting, or we did a hackathon, and so on and so forth. Essentially, you will find, and I personally, I used to believe that I was very good in change management and understand everything. When I played this for the first time, I got a very lousy score. I said, what is wrong about it? Because I was probably doing the right things, but not in the right sequence. So this is as involved exercise managing change, navigating change, is as involved an exercise as performing a brain surgery or a heart surgery, right? You may do the right thing with the right intent, but if it is ill-timed or if it is done in the wrong sequence, you will end up blowing it up. So a lot of knowledge has to be, first of all, built in the organization about navigating change. And therefore, those change agents that you nominate, right? You'll always find, at PDO and other organizations we worked with, they have a beautiful bell curve. They would say there will be these early adopters, right? 2 to 5% of the workforce are people who will embrace any change that you propose. So you say, okay, we're going to, automate parking, everyone will embrace it. I say we're going to eliminate gate entries, they will embrace. So any change you bring about, people will just lap it up, right? So those are your change agents in your organization that you want to recruit. But it's not enough that they have the right intent or the desire for change. You also need to make sure they are skilled with the right knowledge and the tool set for bringing about change. So capability building is an important element. Bring people on the same page with regard to knowledge building, skill building on transformation, and so on. When you do that, you will definitely achieve the following, if not more. You will have a well-defined digital ready ecosystem, so to speak, right? Your workforce would generally warm up to the idea of the change that you're bringing about. So the solution would be more sustainable and scalable, and it will start delivering operational efficiencies to your business. So in a nutshell, when you bring about digital transformation, please bear in mind the following considerations at the least, right? Defining what problem we are trying to solve is the first question to ask, because a lot of times we tend to put the cart before the horse, saying that somebody in our industry, if you're an airport industry, you found something that Munich airport did or something that Singapore did, let's bring that solution here and so on. It's great that you start with the solution, but unless you are articulating what problem you're solving, you will end up putting the cart before the horse, right? And it's important to put the customer's needs first, understanding the value as defined by the customer, and make sure that's articulated in the to be state of the process. And there are a bunch of tools that are available. You have change management frameworks, you have education to invest in, tools to invest in, and so on, which will help to build the right foundation for transformation in your organization. So that's my talk. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Naveen, for rounding off our sessions with such depth and clarity. The conclusion of the 5th edition of OERLive DX couldn't have been more fitting. We trust today's gathering has been a meaningful exchange of knowledge, innovation, and inspiration. Before we close, a heartfelt thank you goes out to our endorsing partners, the Ministry of Transport, Communications, and Information Technology Oman, the Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry, OITS, ITCA Group, Austrian Embassy Muscat, Advantage Austria, whose collaboration has been instrumental in bringing this vision to life. Our sincere thanks also goes to our strategic partners, Oman Arab Bank, Zawawi Powertech Engineering, Bank Muscat Mithaq, Infoline, Dhufar Insurance Company, Securado, and Ta'jir Finance, whose continued commitment to excellence and innovation has been instrumental. We're equally proud to acknowledge our innovation partner, Honor MHD, iTex, Automotive Partner, Shangan, Associate Partners, Business Gateways, and United Securities, our knowledge partner, SSA Consulting Group, support partner, Rua United, and our media partners, the Daily Tribune in Bahrain, Zibi in Zanzibar, and Alam al-Iqtisad. Once again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for being such a wonderful audience. Thank you.